And good morning. Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right. I am John Palacio.
And I'm Marlene Cuellar. And thank you for tuning in on this extra special morning.
Extra special is definitely how we should call it because it is our
celebration of our 10th anniversary. And John, we are not alone. We have some lovely looking people in front of us.
I swear, man. Oh, look, you guys are so blade up, and I said blade up for us. And like William would say, I hope you guys cream on yourself. Not lotion, your cream.
Well, one thing we do know is that we've had so many people pass through the show. Some of you are very familiar faces that we've seen over the years. And we're happy to have you share it along with us as well.
Mm-hmm. You know, and that's the best thing because even you, the audience at home, you've been sharing your time with us for over 10 years, and we are so thankful that you could be along with us as well.
That's right. We do want to say, of course, that our introduction was done by none other than
Superfuria. It's like you got bun, but you got Superfuria bun. Yeah, so they've been with us for a long time as well.
That's right, and they're gonna get the energy going. This is officially the start of our celebration. It is a celebration of the past 10 years, and it's also a celebration of some of our guests who have joined us over the years. So we're grateful for you here, for those of you who've tuned in, and I don't know where to get started.
You know, I'm so overwhelmed, you know, and the reason being is because one of the guests, two because of the celebration, 10 years, and I've been a part of it for a few of them, but you for 10.
Yeah.
Can you reflect back on the 10? Now this is waking up early. You've got a routine.
This is something I think I had to digest over the past few days.
The celebration was approaching, and I knew I was coming back so we could have it. And it was, I think, a lot of people maybe don't remember. But when I first came to Channel 5, it was the purpose of hosting the show.
Yeah.
I had been anchoring the news for a few years, and they said they wanted to do a morning show.
So one of the best things about this experience is that I have been involved from the beginning, sitting around a table and deciding what we want, what we don't want, didn't want call-ins, wanted to be informative, wanted to be heavy, but also light, but also fun, but also informative, also inspiring. And so many of the elements that we fit in still are in the show today. Mm-hmm. And I can never forget the first show because we did rehearsals the day before, William and I, because we first started the show. And a lot of people still make fun of the good morning. And I did not plan it. It just happened on the first day. It was, I think, all the nerves came together at that particular moment, and it just burst out in my good morning. Wow. And it was a very nerve-wracking show. I remember the first guest, it was Penny Cayetano, because being that it is so close to, he had just moved back to Belize from Germany. Yeah. And it was a big deal because we were so proud of having him back. And so he was officially our first guest on set.
Oh, wow, that's a good way to remember it. For me, I don't recall the first day being on, but I could recall the practice session or the sit-down session with you. Now that was nerve-wracking for me because, you know, I didn't come out. I never come out of TV. I came out of a radio. And like you could go somewhere and say, I want to buy one radio with Johnny in there. It's something like that. So I was like behind the scenes then. So you're probably used to the personality or the voice. Yeah. But coming on here was an eye-opening experience for me, learning so many things. And I would tell you this, you know, even though I don't remember my first show over the past 3 years, because this is my third, this has been like the biggest when it comes to my learning lessons. I say this is a university because you learn everything.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now, is it easier?
Yeah, it is. You know what? I don't even like. Some folks would say that you come on and you get nervous, and I wish. You know, sometimes because then a lot of folks might say, you know what? I have my nervousness work for me. Like I wish I get nervous. Like I'm so used to it. And then again, I've got some of the best teachers ever, and one of the best ones is. So yeah, that's the way it is.
Yeah, well, I am still learning as I go along. I think sometimes I do get nerves. I think it depends on the topic. It depends on just the mood for the day. Early mornings don't ever get easier. But it is a part of the job.
So, what's the hardest thing for you in the morning? Like for getting ready, what's the hardest thing for the day?
Well, the makeup takes quite a bit of time, which I do myself because I do school tours here and people are like, oh, where's your makeup crew and your limo? No, we're not there yet. I don't know ever.
Yes.
It is a very time-consuming part that I always have to curse my male co-host in that moment and say, they have no idea. Yes, and I think one of the most important parts that I do take very seriously is trying to make the guests comfortable.
Yeah.
I know that it's not easy. One, getting the brain alert first thing in the morning. Two, to sit and be questioned by people with no interruptions of commercials or call-ins or anything, and you have to be present. And I think one of the things that I really, really attempt to do is to try to make you comfortable, especially when you come and get settled in. Whether it's joke about the weather or whatever silly thing it is to kind of get you at ease. I don't know if I've achieved it, but...
and it's the same thing that I do. I love to crack a joke. I really love, as I say that, I see Ozzy in the back. And speaking of Ozzy, one day he came out and he said, what animal would you like for me to make for you? And I had to say it, Ozzy, I want you to knock me up one worry tick. Because what happened. But the hardest thing for me in the morning is actually, it's not waking up. I'm used to waking up early in the morning. The hardest thing would be take a wild guess. Any one of you guys, one wild guess. No makeup, I know. One wild guess.
I know the answer.
The shirt.
It's actually
Close.
what I want to wear in the morning. That's hard, man. And sometimes I fall asleep at night and thinking about it, and then when I wake up in the morning, I'd say, okay, I'll rock this, rock that, and then I rock something else.
But you rock it nonetheless.
Like, for instance, today, you see this nice wine color? I thought about it, man. I thought about it. But I said this steelish one should work. So that's the hardest thing for me is actually getting ready what I will wear. That's the hardest
Well, it's too late now. But you know what, John? It has been so much fun having you on. The show has taken a different direction with co-hosts. We have different co-hosts who come in.
Oh, yeah.
We have Isani who joins us on Mondays and Kevin on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But there have been so many faces who have been on the set in the host seat. And I want to challenge your memory today to see who all you remember. Let's start off.
Guess.
Well, there is the very obvious. William did it for almost 8 years.
Yes.
So, yes, he was the primary host.
With 3.
Who's Nick?
Dickie
Bradley. Did do it,
All
yes,
right, one.
that's right.
Mm-hmm. 2. Come on, man.
Charlie Hushner, that's
Yes.
right.
One more.
The other one that was with Charlie. Okay, so let me give you some of the names of the people who've passed through. First of all, we had Ava Lovell with us.
Yes, Ava was from all the way, from earlier on.
She was she used to join us quite a bit. We had Carla Ayers Musa as well.
Mm-hmm. We had Leila Pandey back in the days.
Yes.
Audrey Matura.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had Niall Gillett with us as well.
Niall.
We had Jose Alpuche.
Oh, I remember Niall. Okay, Jose Alpuche too.
We had the late Ariel Rosado.
Yes, we had, of course, our sister there with us as well, Jamie Rock, who lives now in Barbados. Mm-hmm. She was with us.
We even had Holly Edgell with us for a while when she had her short time in Belize.
You said Dickie Bradley already. We did say Isani Cayetano.
Yeah.
We said Charlie Hutchinson, Kevin Arters, and William Neal.
So there you go. That's the list of, and we've had quite a few other people as well come in, but these are people who've taken on the host position with us, and it has been a fun ride working with all these different personalities. But as you said, as you looked at us when you answered, come on, the first guess is William, because he did spend almost 8 years with us. So we do have a special acknowledgement to the time that William spent with us over the past 10 years. And we're going to check that out now and also look at some fun times that we've had with him. And there were quite a few. So let's get into that. Shows how people connect with moments like that, because I think it's just raw, honest, scariness, and it's raw, honest sense of accomplishment, once you've been able to do it.
You know, the same thing can be said for darts in terms of putting yourself to learn something, because I grew up playing darts, or so I thought. And then they come on and they talk to you about so many things, and the scoring and the techniques and how many hours a day. I am sorry, I have the attention span of probably a snail. All right, I have probably the determination of a snail, but I would probably, you know, I could not see myself. I am so sorry. I am ashamed, but I cannot see myself throwing a dart for 3 or 4 hours. Truth be told, I am too active a person to actually do that. So I love the dart experience, and I will play it recreationally, professionally. I understand the plight, and I applaud the efforts.
Yeah, it was a great do-it-yourself moment. You know, everybody gets nervous when I do stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
you exaggerate it all the time, like I'm going to catch you in your head with it or something. You do, yes, you do, and you know, I think I did pretty well at that.
Exaggerate
yes,
it.
you do.
I know.
I mean, there are some issues with my aim and coordination, but you do have to give me.
You all are not on set when I noticed that her sense of space is
Spatial
not
judgment.
quite, you know, normal. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, I love you though.
Yeah,
So.
you have to. Of all the clips to bring back, of course. All right, so we talked about our spatial judgment there again. But I gotta ask, you know, of all the elements in the show, some of you have been very frequent guests with us. What have been your favorite parts of the show so far? Favorite guests, favorite segments? Throw it out to us.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I mean, don't be scared to say when you're on.
Yeah.
I like the inspirational morning segment.
Yeah.
We all look forward to something positive in the morning, as you can.
Oh,
The
yeah.
eye opener.
The eye opener. Yes.
The song.
Music, but I also love Jenny.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
One second, let's get this on. We got to get the mic in right here. So
All
you
right.
love.
Check.
Yes.
I love Jenny. I love how she comes on and she breaks it down in terms of literally just making you aware of what you might be going through,
Yeah.
and also the plight of other people, and it opens your eyes
Yeah.
to things that hopefully are outside of yourself, because she spoke a lot about depression, about anxiety attacks, etc. And I thought that was absolutely wonderful.
All right.
So we got points for the eye opener and for Jenny.
Jenny. All
Anything else that you like?
Anything else?
Fun
yep.
Friday.
Pass it on. Pass it on to the guy. Let's hear. Let's hear why you like the Fun Friday.
Yeah, I love Fun Fridays because after an entire 4 days of different topics,
Yeah.
I think it's jamming, and then on Fridays, like, okay, we're looking forward to this
Yeah.
now. It's time to cool down,
Yeah.
to go into the weekend and break it on, and I love Fun Fridays.
All right. I love Fun Fridays too.
Me too.
Especially when there's food. All right, but we do have some participation from our online viewers as well. We have a giveaway for you as well.
And they could walk away right now with a gift basket with assorted liquor from Travelers. Whoa.
And the question is, what was the date of the very first Open Your Eyes show?
This is online, by the way. I mean, in terms of giving your answer.
That's
giving your
right.
answer. So don't try
No
to, don't try.
shouting
No
out
shouting on
here.
your answers. Oh, you got
So
Mr.
we have
Google
some
it.
very dedicated online viewers. Go ahead, answer. You can either send us a message, you can post it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We'll be following up, and you will win that gift basket from Travelers. But we got to go ahead and take our first break for this morning, John. Actually, we have some awards that we'll be giving away, and you're going to be very excited to find out our categories. They're quite a bit of fun. So that's coming up after the break. It's our 10th anniversary celebration, and you don't want to miss a minute of it. Stay tuned.
Woohoo! Love it.
Yay!
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And welcome back. 10 years flying by just like that. But we've got in, while we're about to do our first segment, it's open your eyes and emerging, issues, things that occur or things that are occurring. We've got these folks in with us. Actually, we've got Chester Williams, who's a Deputy Commissioner of Police. He's right there in the middle. Flanking him is none other than Lisa Schumann, attorney at law. And I always wanted to say that. And of course, we've got Rafael Manzanero, Executive Director of FCD. Guys, it's so nice to have you in. Welcome and good morning.
Good morning.
Celebrating 10 years with us. What's the feel like right now?
I think it's amazing to see how time has gone. It's been quite a while.
All right, we're getting your microphone.
Yeah, we'll get the microphone.
Yeah. Let's get the feel from
So
all
it
from all
does
three.
give us an opportunity to highlight the fact that as a part of our goals, we always love talking about not just the emerging issues, but tackling some of the tough ones
Yes.
from many different perspectives.
Yeah, I think the overwhelming sensation for me this morning is to be amazed at how quickly time has gone by.
right?
So this is going to be a bit of a time capsule for us. I think some of us are frankly going to be surprised at how we have changed
Yeah.
over the years, but it's good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Chester, how you feeling? 10 years.
Well, it feels good. We actually witnessed Marlene growing. I remember the first show, I saw her, she was like a little girl, and now she has grown.
Still a little girl. No, I'm kidding. Let me ask a different question. I think, when you come on the shows, each of you, know that you are perhaps bringing information that the public doesn't necessarily like hearing, or addressing topics that are seen as controversial. And what I have always admired of three of you is that you never say no. There's some people who say, that's too touchy, it's too sensitive, I don't want to come on TV and talk about it. These three right here, they will not say no.
They're coming.
Why is that?
Well, at the end of the day, once you know that the message that you're delivering is the right one, and you're speaking from your conviction on the matter, even though you know that there may be some who will oppose what you have to say, that is your position. And there is nothing better than a good debate over whatever issues that may be confronting the country. We cannot always believe that our position is right. We can listen to other positions, and it makes us better at the end of the day.
Well, good morning and congratulations.
Good morning and thanks.
In the case of us as FCD and in terms of the Chicky Bowl, I must say that for us, it is always important for us to be here, and we always welcome it, the invite. It has always been a very difficult situation for us to bring the stories from the jungle. And I must say that over the last 10 years, it certainly has raised a lot of that level of importance about these areas. And I think also it has been able to bring the general public in terms of what really is at stake out there, in terms of the conditions, the challenges, and also the interventions that are taking place.
Yeah.
And so for us, I think that the media, particularly Open Your Eyes, I think it has really been a critical factor for us to bring those stories. I don't think we would have been able to make it without really the Open Your Eyes as a good example of this. I still recall a couple of our colleagues here from Belize City would say, how can you carry the stories down to Vernon Street? If you can do that, then you are good in terms of bringing down the stories. So always the challenge was, how do we make it possible?
Yeah.
So I would want to believe that at this stage, a lot of the Belizeans are much more conscious about the reality that is happening, and it appears to be that far. But I think the media has been able really to bring it much more closer to the public and also to the hearts of Belizeans at large. And thanks so much for that.
Well, for me, it's always been easy to say yes when I'm asked to come here. One of the things is that as hosts, the Open Your Eyes crew has always been prepared, particularly Marlene. I'm struck by the number of things that she has to ask. I'm struck by the work that she's done. And really, I pay tribute to you as hosts. It's pretty easy for me to come here and give my opinion on anything. I'm opinionated. In fact, I like to think of myself as yeast in the Belizean context. I make it rise, you understand? I don't want to explode it up. I'm not afraid for that. I think there's a natural tendency in Belize for us not to want to rock the boat. We tend to be relatively conservative. We don't like get trouble. Yeah, no me. I like get trouble. I was born being a troublemaker. And I think you need a balance of people in this world. The people who are prepared to do the homework, ask the hard questions, and the people who are prepared to come and answer the hard questions. But I think most of all, what it has been, it's been this incredible partnership between hosts and guests and a deep commitment to exploring the fun issues, the topical issues, and the hard issues. Because I think without this show, certainly issues like the FCD's work, who I greatly value, wouldn't have been exposed to Belizeans in quite the relaxed but informative way that it has. So I think the tribute has to go back to you as hosts. You make it easy for us to come and be guests on your show.
Oh, wow. Well flattered.
Have you ever faced any backlash for something you've said on air or how?
God, absolutely.
Tell us. Because there's a difference. Sometimes we're having a conversation and we forget their conversation.
Oh, no. I've almost always walked out of this show to a barrage of comments and questions, largely positive. But in every batch, there's always those who are critical of what you've said, who will challenge what you've said, and even some who want to keep up a debate all day long. Just the DCP will definitely relate to that one. I remember once, and it wasn't here on Open Your Eyes, but I'll never forget this, going on radio once and being asked about God and didn't I fear God? And I said, no, she and I are good. And you would have thought that I had said the most blasphemous thing ever, simply because I referred to the Almighty in the feminine. So there you are. No, I'm not afraid of stirring up the controversy. Sometimes that's what we're there for, you know, to provoke the discussion that goes on after we leave.
And I want to keep it there to a certain extent. The reason being is because for many of us, being out in the public eyes, all of you guys, we are not able to handle when there are backlashes, and we respond in a negative manner rather than in an objective manner, so people can see your point and my point. And I want to ask, pass it on to Chester. How can we deal with that? Especially being in the limelight like you guys are. How do you deal with that in a positive manner?
Well, from I was growing up, I have learned to block out what I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say.
And indeed, it is good and bad. And yes, there are times that you may not want to hear certain things, but you must listen to it. And when you encounter those that you must listen to, like you rightly said, you try to address it objectively. I have had many persons who disagree with me on issues. One of Marlene co-hosts is one of them. Ooh. Anytime he sees me in the public, he still throws words at me. Ooh. But he still is my friend, right? He has his conviction about certain things, and I respect them. But at the end of the day, I also believe that I have my own conviction on certain things. And so when it is that it reaches a point where people want to become too argumentative, then I excuse myself out of the arena and let them argue themselves. So that's how I would normally deal with it.
Now, Raphael, for you, I know your appearances on the media has led some to accuse you of creating bigger problems in the Chickabull than needs be, but it has never stopped you from coming back and continuing.
Well, I think that in our case, one of the main factors that has helped us is that we bring the science. We have the numbers. And we learned this actually after we started. We were back there in Chiquibul by 2007. It took us basically about 2 years for us to understand the importance of really being able to calibrate, to be able to quantify exactly what was really taking place. It is always kind of easy for us to to come in and be able to talk about the context in a generic term. But for us, it was important for us to bring the science. And we have a research unit at FCD. So we basically are able to tell you that at this point, for example, the chatero is a part of the vocab for Belizeans.
Yeah.
But in reality, we have, on what used to be 100% of extraction of chat in the jungles of Chiquibul, today that has been reduced by 90%.
Wow.
If you ask me, we have the numbers and we can prove it to you by scientific methods. And so that's important. And so I think even though people might be able to raise up the issue that we might be misconstructing or creating something that is not there, then we can actually be able to bring you the numbers. And science cannot really miss in terms of that.
All right.
Cool. I've got a question for Ms. Schumann. Checks and balances. That's one of the things that we tend to not do as a public. Reason being is because we're so afraid to be politically victimized, and that's the situation that's going on right now. This is the reason why a lot of people don't go to vote. They don't listen, or they try. I can't say they don't listen, they do listen, but they pretend not to understand because of checks and balances. I see you do that in the biggest way ever, and that's one of the things I most respect about you. Why is it important for everybody in our country to do checks and balances on our country?
You see the Constitution of Belize, it starts out, we the people. We the people has meaning. It means that as a consequence of the right to be a citizen of Belize, you have a responsibility. And if you don't, on a personal level, decide to challenge decisions that are made by the decision makers that you put there, you have nobody to blame but yourself when the conditions don't favor whatever it is you think should be happening. Democracy is a participation sport. Democracy belongs to the people who show up and work the democracy. Power abhors a vacuum like nature. And so power will naturally flow to those who exercise it. And I think the times when Belizeans have woken up and decided that power is in their hands, those are the seminal moments in our country. I think of things like the BNTU demonstrations, most famously and most obviously, of course. I think of the exercise of participation, for instance, around independence. I think of the vigorous debate surrounding the ICJ. And I think all of these things are important. And to me, what is more important than agreeing with my point of view, which is important, even more important than that, is that you have a point of view and that you're willing to express it, because this isn't going to happen because I get up and rail up in the morning. I come and I tell Marlene, this is not right. It doesn't happen. Who am I? One voice speaking out. But I will tell you this, a lot more Belizeans are learning to speak up and speak out, particularly young Belizeans. I'm really heartened by that, because by nature, we're not a people who like to rock the boat. We come afterwards and say, I see you on TV, and I like what you say. I like what you say. But for every one person who comments on social media, there are 600 more who watch, have an opinion, and say nothing. And we are not going to progress until we realize that the power is in our own hands and not just once every 5 years or once every 3 years when we have an election.
All right. Well said.
I tell you.
And it is time for us to give out our first award for this morning.
Yes.
And that is because it's not just about controversy. It's about being or providing information. And so, our most informative guest award goes to Lisa Showman.
Oh.
You have to do the Emmy Pride.
I didn't clutch the pearl.
Thank the female god.
Thank you so much. I really thought this was for Chester, but thank you. I'm very humbled. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well.
Make sure I put it in a prize spot on my library.
Okay, we hope so, and not hidden behind books. But you know what? The power of words is so important.
Yeah.
And this is a great segue for us to move into our performance for today. We have had many artists on the show. This is a return artist for us as well. He does spoken word poetry. His name is Ko the Assassin. You must know him by now, and he's actually going to be doing one of my favorite pieces. It's called The Revolution Will Not Be Live Streamed.
Yo, I can't stay home. Yo, I can't go up on Facebook to comment and troll about. Yo, I can't get lost in a love and hip-hop empire and Snapchat cause the revolution now be stream live. The revolution now be stream live. The revolution now be brought to you by Aflac during the NBA series. In our show, the PM, the blow a hand, the play God Save the Queen with the Wesley Methodist Choir, backed up by the Imperial Band for go eat by up when they take away from Mercy Kitchen. The revolution now be stream live. The revolution now be sponsored by Niche. Ner, it will have Madam Haylock or Leroy Green as in star. The revolution, you know, will make life easy. You know, what turn your party into bashment. You know, what give you quality and savings. The revolution now will be stream live, Belizeans. And I say no picture with you and James Adelaide, the Rob Hofius during a riot, or the try strap a flat screen on top of our beach cruiser. The body of the queen now are able to predict the winner after 9 nationwide. The revolution now will be stream live. You know, see Babylon, the bus shot out of people on YouTube or Flippergram. You know, see Will Mejia, they going out of PG for what he believe. And I see any vines that Audrey walk through Belize in our Antonio Soberanes t-shirt. She even say for the right time. Positive vibes, creme lover wave, now a be so relevant. And nobody care about who they play with who because Belizeans when they look for a brighter day. The revolution now be stream live. And I see no highlights from the 6:30 news. No pictures of church hands to make the nice or father to show a tantrum. The song now be written by Frankie Renner or Colville Young. Nor sung by Jackie Castillo, Tremet Perriott or Jenny Lovell. The revolution now be stream live. The revolution now come after our commercial about C. Podemos, Tony Superstore, our paid political announcement. And I care about who could make her rich, the best phone deal, or when the next concert today. The revolution now tastes better, it's stout. And now be biased like KTV or be the next superstar. The revolution will put you behind the wheels. The revolution, not stream live, not stream live, not stream live, not victimized. The revolution now will show up on Channel 7 and 5 Belize. The revolution will be live. Ko the Assassin, OYE, open your eyes. Happy 10th anniversary.
For over 20 years, Great Belize Television, Channel 5, has been the leader in award-winning local programming. We have also produced some of the best video commercials, documentaries, and live events for clients countrywide. And we continue to offer high-quality production services to maximize your advertising needs for your business or organization. From concept to completion, let us help you achieve your marketing goal by producing your commercial, documentary, graphic animation, live event, or even designing your website. Using state-of-the-art equipment and experienced personnel, we can make your ideas come alive. For more information, come see us on Coney Drive or give us a call at 223-0146 or 223-7781 or email us at gbtv@dtl.net. Great Belize Productions, making great television in Belize.
Yes.
And welcome back.
See, the problem is when we do have a live audience, the show continues without you. But we're moving into another segment at this time. And as we said, you know, it is a reflection of the past 10 years. And before we talk about emerging issues, controversial issues, and now we're going to talk about one of the commitments we've made in being able to help out within different specific sectors. And that is looking at health and the environment. So we brought 3 of our popular guests, well-known faces, with us. We have Dr. Marvin Manzanero, who's the Director of Health Services at the Ministry of Health. We have in the middle Jenny Lovell from Brock It Down with Jenny, mental health therapist. And there is a dance. We may get her to do it before then, right? And we have on the end Janelle Chanona, Vice President of Oceana Belize.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for being here and looking so lovely too.
I tell you, sharp.
I don't know what they had to do to convince Dr. Manzanero to wear a suit this morning. Was there some bribery that took place?
No, I'm only here for the leftover turkey from yesterday.
All right, so it's let's just jump into the conversation about having the platform of Open Your Eyes to talk about health, mental health, and environment. Let's start with you, Janelle.
Well, I have to say, first of all, I was blown away when I realized it was 10 years because I remember, I'm over on a call because I remember when the show first started. So congratulations on reaching this milestone. But it's been an incredible benefit to my colleagues and I in conservation to be able to sit on the couch and talk with you about important issues, to share information, to really bring that reality into people's homes, because I think so very often we get caught up in our little bubbles and homework, schoolwork, and it's always been so welcomed when we call up and we say we have an issue, we want to come talk to you about gill nets, and you know, the person at the other end is like, come, we want to hear what you have to say, and just being able to inform people so that they can draw their own conclusions and make up their minds and be a part of that conversation, which, as some of your earlier panelists stressed, it's so important that everybody shows up, everybody cares, and everybody, you know, is involved in that conversation. So that's really been very, very appreciated, and we thank you for it.
Yeah. And Jenny?
Good morning.
Use your microphone.
Good morning, everybody. I started out with you guys almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, very early.
We started out just information, sort of, it was fun talking about issues. But Marlene, I want to say, Open Your Eyes really brought counseling to the forefront in Belize, because I remember when I came home, people told me, you won't make money here because people here don't take counseling. And through Open Your Eyes, we were able to inform and present people with a lot of the issues that are present. And it's really been a boon for informing people, and counselors now don't have enough room for for seeing people. It's become very and again, I credit it to the show that we've been able to do that.
All right.
You know, I remember when we were formulating the concept for your segment, and one of the things we said, well, you know, you could always do a Dear Abby style on the show itself, because we wanted to have something where people could just have some specific questions answered. But William was the host at the time, and we said, there is no way we can answer anybody's issues. We have our own issues to deal with too. And we knew Jenny and her openness to discuss mental health and other issues pertaining to just personal development. And when we approached her, you were gung-ho from the start. Yeah. Talking about anxiety and toxic relationships and leaving friends behind and parenting styles, boundaries, and having difficult conversations.
You know, and Jenny, especially for me, is definitely one of my favorite segments, because it's, for me, I'm more of a listener in her segment. Reason being is because I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and I try to portray what I've learned from her. And Jenny, over the past few years while you've been doing this, what are some of the changes that you've seen, or are people coming out more to talk about how they feel?
I really think so. Like I said, there's lots of people now who are able to work with counseling in the country. And mental health wise, people go more easily to the psych nurses and they come in and get help. They come in for help. And for me, that has been the big thing.
And finally, why is it important for people to vent?
See, I like to present the metaphor of the pressure cooker. If you keep putting things into the pressure cooker and there's no ventilation, it blows. And so it's very important that instead of keeping the information in and suffering in silence, that you talk about it in ways that you're not exploding or hurting somebody else.
Okay. All right. And let's move over to Dr. Manzanaro.
Well, good morning. I'm listening to what Jenny has said in terms of where we have been, and I think the first times I was here and Open Your Eyes was mainly to talk about HIV, and I think I grew in that as a public officer. And so I have been in the service almost the same time that you guys have been on the airs, and I think what we as a Ministry of Health have always wanted, at least in my new as Director of Health Services, is the openness. And I think that's what Open Your Eyes has allowed us to do. Because I really don't like to concentrate on the negatives. We are aware of the many issues we have in the Ministry of Health. But it always tends to be the negative aspects. It's whenever there's a baby that dies, whenever there's a mom that dies. And it's not that you're shying away from those which are major issues. We acknowledge those. We acknowledge all the gaps that we have to fill. But also, I think there are so many other positive things that are happening. I mean, there are so many babies that are being born today, healthy, being delivered, and they go home, and there's so many things, so many people walking out of a hospital after being taken care of by the many healthcare workers. So I think we concentrate on that, and I think this space has allowed us to concentrate on that. That's one. To give some kind of therapy to people when they don't really address the issues that are being addressed whenever they are being misinformed. And also, I think it's a two-way street. Whenever you guys have wanted to bring out an issue on health, you have always called on us. We have an open door policy in terms of having open access to the media and actually encouraging that. That's the stance we have. But also, I think whenever we have wanted to bring out an issue to the forefront, we have always managed to call, and we do get a space. So I appreciate that. So in these 10 years, I think we have to be to acknowledge the work that we have done with Open Your Eyes. Thank you for the space that you actually have. I mean, you have a selective audience that I think keeps growing, and we always see it as an opportunity. So I think the dynamics has changed, but you have evolved along with that, and we have evolved in terms of the health issues in that regard.
Yeah. Right. You know, and just this panel itself is a reflection of, governmental, private sector, and also the civil society, and how much you have to offer in educating the public. Can I ask a question? One of the things I realize when we discuss any emerging issue or raise awareness on something, my question always is, do you feel that the audience is able to get the information? Like your objective was met when you talk with people in the public. Tell me some of the feedback that you get from your appearances on air.
It's both ways. Sometimes you feel that it doesn't, especially when you see what happens on social media. And I don't tend to follow social media, but people from work will check that. But I also I think it's also I think what happens is we sometimes tend to believe things that we want to believe. I mean, it goes back to what Jen was saying in terms of having an opinion and stuff like that. So it's difficult for people to believe official lines of communication. Sometimes people tend to believe what's going on social media more for whatever reason. So even though you come out and explain it to them, people are still going to believe certain kinds of things. It's a difficult situation, I think, but it's a job that we have to do. And I think as health workers, we need to be social communicators. So it's a process that we learn as we go along.
I think to the point earlier in terms of having those channels remain open and having people have an opportunity to share, I think the social media response after our appearances have always been positive, because people then begin to a DM or inbox and they say, you know, here's, to your point of what you were talking about before, here's something that you should be aware of, or they use these as sort of triggers or catalysts to say, you know, you really hit a point there for me, so you know, in that vein, I'm going to let you know about, you know, the fact that, you know, boats are speeding in my canal, or you know,
or I want to use my gill nets.
Exactly. It opens the door to the conversation, and you know, it's really, we keep coming back to this, I think, across all our sectors, that communication. If we're around the table talking to each other, we're not exploding, we're being informed, and it really creates an environment that's conducive to progress rather than just stagnation, because you don't want to touch it. It's a difficult subject, so you don't want to go there. And any type of behavior change is tricky. So when you talk to that fisherman about, you know, changing the way he fishes, but you reinforce the point, it's to keep you fishing. And if we do that together sustainably, and we support you in making that change, then you get to continue doing it. Miss Jenny gets to continue eating her fish. Mr. Raf can have his ceviche. And it's really so important that we talk to each other, no matter what, that we talk to each other. And that's what I love, even in terms of your setup, in terms of that living room, kitchen table feel, where you are able to have that conversation, because that's where we often have the conversations in our own homes, of being able to be comfortable enough to talk about the things that we need to talk about, that very often you don't get forced to talk about. And having you all ask those questions that, as you're saying, you hold inside on a personal level, that could be exactly what everybody else out there is thinking about and asking, gives us the opportunity to really touch the hard stuff, touch the sticky stuff. So that's always been welcomed. And I think, you know, especially from my journalism background of trying to be able to anticipate the questions and prep for it, but it's been really good to get the left field questions and to get the callers from from out of nowhere, to get the direct messages and be like, what? I was not thinking about that. So that's always been a good response after the media appearances here, where you get to hear what people are thinking and how they're responding.
Nice.
All right, excellent.
Anybody in the audience want to ask a question?
Yeah, Heidi. Yes. All right.
You're not eating my cupcake. All right.
Introduce yourself. Of course, I can too. Dominique Norales, who is one of our frequent youth representatives on the show.
Yes, at one point I had to like stop myself from coming on, because I feel like my face made to get to come on. So I had to stop myself. But my question is for Ms. Chanona. In my travels, a big highlight for me is always highlighting Belize's environment, our natural monuments and everything. So what do you think is the biggest achievement Belize has made in terms of natural resource management, the environment, and what do you think will be our next big thing?
Lovely. I love that.
I'm so glad you in particular asked that question, because as the youth representative, my big takeaway from my career, even before conservation, but getting into this field now, has been people showing up, especially the young people. We say this whole concept of the children are the future so often that we forget how true it is. And it gives me cold feet every time, because you have to realize that if you guys don't care, if you guys don't show up, if you guys don't stand up for whatever it is, that you don't get that note to self that, you know, what you believe changes the world, it's going to be your future that sucks. And it's going to be your future that's dirty, and it's going to be your future that's sad. And I love seeing young people awaken to that consciousness that I have to be there. Why am I not at that table? Why am I not, you know, hearing answers to my questions? Why am I not being respected enough to be able to be acknowledged and recognized for asking that question? And I think that growing consciousness really gives me so much hope that as we go deeper into this awareness, that you will see even more actions come out of it. And that's why I'm on social media, because I want to hear all the young people that, you know, whether it's through the modeling, whether it's through the entrepreneurial activities, no matter what platform they're using on their social media, but they have a platform, they have an opinion, they have something they want to say, and they're saying it, whether it's through spoken word, whether it's through music, whether it's through, you know, phone cases. I want people to do that. And, you know, when they contact me and they say, you know, I have a product that's got turtles on it, so I want to use it as a platform to talk about how gillnets hurt turtles. It's like, yay, because, you know, that's what we want, that whatever you're doing, you have a role, you have a voice, and you're using it. And that's why it kills me and really, like, made me a little bit sad off air listening to you say that people are afraid to talk because they're I know that's so real, and I know that's something that we have as a challenge as a country. So when, even more so, when people use their voice and they ask the questions and they show up and they stand up and they act and they demand an answer in a respectful way, that's such a beautiful thing. And that's really what gives me pause to say, yes, if we are all there and we know we love we Belize, because when we go out and we see what any boats about, they're like,
that's nothing. Yeah.
Wait till you come to Belize, my boy. You know, like, and we love it. And if we love it, we just need to take care of it, and it will take care of us. And Dominic, that's really what, you know, I think has been the big takeaway, because you look at what, you know, has happened in the past because people didn't care, people tolerated it, and then now it's like you're seeing that change. It's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, and just before we, you know, and she did ask the next big thing, and then to me, the next big thing is when the youths or the younger people decide to not be afraid to talk, step up, and make it happen. That, to me, will be the next big thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And we're such a young population.
Yes.
as we know, I mean, that's really important. You look at the bulk of the population that's in that category of people yet to emerge. I mean, that's going to be a very powerful factor in our next couple chapters.
So I just need to jump in here and say,
yes,
this is why we have to stop beating children, abusing children, and trying to stop their voices when they're little. Little kids come out, they from the time they start growing up, but 2 years old, they're fighting back because they want to be heard.
Yeah.
And we stifle them. And this is the message we have to continue to bring to the public. And thank you for listening to that.
Some of my favorite guests have been when we have youth panels or children panels, and the kids come here and sometimes I can't even think of a question because I'm so floored by just the depth of their thought, their optimism for the future, and sometimes even the reality check that they put on us live on air. And it really is, I hope that so many of the young people who've been on this show are still holding on to that passion that they've had, and I really hope the system, most often the school systems, and sometimes with parents as well, hasn't kind of forced it out of them more.
I love when I go into a classroom and the silence is golden, everything is gone.
I love the disruptive kids. If they come on tour and they have a lot of questions, or that's great. That's a great sign for me. So.
And you know, one of the things that I've learned from Jenny, and I want for folks to be cognizant of this: your kids are not your property. They're not. You are just that guiding force for them to continue on. That's right, and that's who you are. So let's keep that in mind. Your kids, they're not your property. You guide them to a better future.
Now, I know the three of you, and I'm getting this time to wrap up this conversation.
Yeah,
There's one question
like 5
I wanted
minutes
to ask
ago.
you, right? I know the three of you also watch the show. And so I just want to ask some of your favorite topics or guests that you've seen over the years.
Yeah.
And you can say the cocktail segment as well.
Yeah,
you
you
want,
could.
right?
I was about to say, I will claim foodie status and say, I'm waiting for that app or that something where you can like lick your screen. Because
and it tastes just like it.
some of the things that Chef Sean Quinlan has put together, I'm like, damn, that studio must be smelling nice. You know, so I will pass the cocktails, and anything he's mixing up and putting together, I really enjoyed that, because I'm like, okay, how will this turn out if I ever try this? But
he's
I'm
not
glad
good with
he's
recipes. He's Mr.
He's just throwing it in.
and that's what I like, because I could be there balancing and it will never look, and the minute I try to like approach it Sean Quinlan style, it come out on half away. But that's good. But yeah, I've always enjoyed that. Plus, I never know, to your point, I never know what he's going to say. And I have enjoyed
Oh my
watching
God.
him catch you guys off guard with some of his comments and his
yeah.
puns and his play on words. So that's
right.
always been a very fun section for me.
Yeah.
I like the food too. I like the food. I also, this is my hidden pleasure. I love watching the guys who come and do the drinks.
Oh.
Yeah. We all love it.
We can, I'm going to give away some behind the scenes stories. So Jenny's on a Friday and it's a Traveler's Day. She's staying till the end.
till the end.
She becomes our live audience on that day.
She's the taster. And
Duck?
Unfortunately, I don't watch that much TV as I should, so I really I don't get to watch even the shows, the reruns. I have two sons, and they probably have never watched me on TV either, because we try to stem away from that. So I will have to pass on that question.
Oh, that's a cop-out, but we'll leave you there.
Oh, God.
But we thank you for coming in and having this conversation
Yeah.
with us, and we hope to continue to build on this partnership as we move forward. It is time for us, though, to get some music into the show again, and we can't have Superfuria, yeah, and not have some music. So we're going to take a musical break followed by our commercial break. And when we come back, we do have a giveaway, though, before the band starts playing.
Yes, and
this
the
is
giveaway.
another online giveaway.
Yep, and the question is, this one is very easy. How many times has OIE, or Open Your Eyes, changed sets?
All right, answer online, and you will win a fantastic prize. It's a gift certificate for a manicure and pedicure from Lush Spa and Beauty Lounge.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have some music, and that's going to take us to our break.
Let's Superfuria one more time again.
Jamming, we having a good time. Why not jamming with me band? Me having a good time. We having a good time. We having a good time. We having a good time. When you see me walking down, we having a good time. And I'm jamming with me band, we having a good time. Hugging up with the woman, we having having a good time. Simon whining, Dinah jamming, we having a good time. Way, 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 we having a good time. 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 Riggy diggy bamba de, diggy diggy doomba de.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
You're sitting at the best. You're sitting at the tightest. You're sitting at the best. You make me forget all the chicks I ever met. When I leave, you make me wish I never left. Hold me tight while I gently kiss you on your neck. When I leave, you make me wish I never left. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. Girl, I got this way you embrace me, you know. You know, say you want me a face, you know. The way how you hold me amazing, you know. You got me in a gaze, can't wait for the touch. Eh. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. Anything you ask, I will do, boo 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 boo. Girl, I sitting tight as a true boo boo boo. Love it when you bubble like soup, boo 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 boo. You make me forget all the chicks I ever met. When I leave, you make me wish I never left. Hold me tight while I gently kiss you on your neck. When I leave, you make me wish I never left. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You hold me, you hold me. You got this in thing where you control me. Everything rich and rosy, you take time. I know I don't force it, baby. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. Anything you ask, I will do, boo 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 boo. Girl, I sitting tight as the true boo boo boo. Love it when you bubble like soup, boo 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 boo. You make me forget all the chicks I ever met. When I leave, you make me wish I never left. Hold me tight while I gently kiss you on your neck. When I leave, you make me wish I never left. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. Girl, I got this way you race me, you know. You know, say you want me a face, you know. The way how you hold me amazing, you know. You got me in a gaze, can't wait till the touch. Eh. You got the glow, boo 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 boo. Anything you ask, I will do, boo 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 boo. Girl, I sit tight as a true boo boo boo. Me love it when you bubble like soup, boo 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 boo. You're sitting at the tightest. You're sitting at the best. Hey, you're sitting at the tightest. You're sitting at the best. Wine pon it. I love it when you brace pon it. Turn back way. Wine pon it. I love it when you brace pon it. Turn back way. Thank you.
was Max Revenue.
Oh, that was a lot of
Doing
revenue
glue.
too. You got the
You had some of the
glue.
audience members dancing here.
The glue, that song, did it say you got the glue, goo, goo, goo? Yes. It's glue.
Yes, it does.
They'll stick on to you. That's what it means.
But you know what? Speaking of stick on, we've got folks that they stick on with us,
Yeah.
especially for those folks who make things possible for us. You know, we've got to say thank you to our sponsors because they stick on with us and we stick on. So you've got the glue Art Box Limited. We've got the glue goo goo goo. Lush Spa and Beauty Lounge, Jador Studio, Many Men, of course. Travelers Liquors, they're with us, as per usual.
Yes.
Also, Best Western or Belize Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza. We also want to say a big thank you to
The Lodge at Chalk Creek. We have Carlage Menzies who will be providing our champagne for this morning. So it is coming, don't worry. It is an anniversary. We have Tammy's Cakes and Cupcakes who did our cake. And the cupcakes by Blissful Bites Belize. All right. So those are the people who are helping us out this morning to ensure that we have a great show. But we're going to get moving back into our guest with us.
Definitely.
And we have joining us Juan Reyna. Now, for those of you, good morning, Juan.
Good morning.
Hello, hola, konnichiwa, ni hao, okay, Juan desu. My name is Juan. Nice to meet you in Japanese.
Just like that, Juan. Just like that.
I told you it was going to be a lesson. I didn't say which lesson.
I love this
there
guy. I'll
you
teach you
go.
I'll teach you another language, Buit Binafi, which is.
Good morning in Garifuna.
Why?
And for those of you who speak Swahili, which I doubt is probably 0.000%, Lujamba, which is hello.
Swahili, Hakuna Matata. It means no worries in Swahili.
There you didn't expect to hear something back in Swahili, did you?
Oh, we love this guy. We love this guy. Juan, it's so nice to have you on. And, inspiration comes in many ways, many different forms. And Juan has been a big inspiration not only to us here, but also to our entire country. Juan, you've been on the show how many times now?
From what I can remember, about 2 or 3 times.
Wow. And now, that was, I think, primary school time, right?
Primary school time. When I was in about standard 5, standard 6, I went over the summer. There was one, but I think I forgot it. Anyway.
So Juan, yes, you have joined us for Disability Week. You've joined us to talk about your good friend Rowan Garrell, another great inspirational guest of ours. As you joined him with his walk across Belize. You remember that? You'd do it again?
I would if he was here.
Okay. And a couple other times to just talk about what it's like living with disabilities. So when we decided that we wanted to do Most Inspirational Award, Juan, you were one of the first people to come to mind. One of the things that you have very quickly realized about Juan is that whether you have any type of diverse ability, whether it is a visual impairment, a physical impairment, it has nothing to do with your spirit and your personality. And this boy, every time he came on set, it was one of those times I told you about where I lose my composure and I'm like, oh, I have to ask a question because I'm laughing so hard. But I don't know, this teenager life are you still very funny?
H. I don't know.
So now you're in 4th form at SJC?
Trying hard not to die.
Why is it killing you?
It just is. It just is. I cannot tell you how it's killing me because it just is.
You're almost to the end, don't worry.
4 months seems like forever.
So I want to ask you though, because when we met you, you were going to St. Joseph's School, and you moved on to SJC. What has it been like to be integrated into a high school as a part of inclusive education?
Well, there's 2 things. First of all, there's the person with the ability, then there's the person, then there's the school. First of all, the person with disability needs to know how to integrate himself well into the to how things run about in the school and how they can best fit in. And then there's the school that needs to know how to take these skills that the person has, whether it be learning how to do something that is only tactile, meaning a graph or something, and then putting that to fit that person's skill, as like I said before. So one of the things they do with me is like making a graph or something out of sandpaper or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Because that's my skill. I can touch things. And yeah, it's actually cool to be, well, we know I'm the first blind person who has attended St. John's College. Apparently, I'm a walking piece of history, apparently.
And what does that mean for you?
It's pretty good, I guess. I really don't have any problems against it. I mean, if I'm a walking piece of history, then looks like history would make itself too.
What do you think that you've taught your fellow classmates about people living with disabilities?
First of all, I've recently discovered that you can actually feel things with your face. So apparently, when someone would do this, you wouldn't know that, like, if you weren't paying attention, you would know that that is someone literally waving their hands and like, how are you knowing this? And like, because I can feel it, I guess. I don't know.
You feel it with your face?
I can't hear it because it's really silent. So you just, I don't know. It probably is the wind. I don't know.
So one
more thing, though. So we talked about what they've taught you, what you've taught them. What have they taught you?
How to be a better friend.
Wow. Tell us about it.
Well, honestly, I have many friends throughout St. John's College. I just usually hang out with them because, to be honest, I am a really, 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 really weird guy.
Why? Why is that?
All right. I'm a really weird guy because I do things that no one else would even care about. Example, I watch anime, I listen to this weird music genre called chiptunes. I basically be a top-notch weirdo, and I'm a nerd on technology.
And technology?
Yep.
Whoa, this guy. What's your favorite subject in school?
I also like science, history, and IT, but it's pretty much hard to decide between all three of them.
So now that you acknowledge that you're a walking piece of history at SJC, what do you hope? You spend a lot of time with BCVI. They do a lot of work for people with visual impairment. When you talk to the younger kids now, what do you tell them about what they can achieve in their future?
Well, first of all, never give up. If you're really that small and you don't know what you're doing, just get help because you actually might need it sometime in the future, and just don't give up on what you're trying to do. That's what I do. I probably suck really bad right now, but I mean, it's not like I'm telling myself, okay, I'm doing this for a reason. No, I will just try to get back up and try again, even if I fail 20 billion times.
All right. We know you like technology. You said 20 billion.
So one of the best parts of achieving 10 years is that I can actually look back to when Juan was in primary school and has been one of our most inspiring guests since then. So Juan, we are giving you our award for our 10th anniversary show as our most inspiring guest.
Congratulations.
Here
Come
you
on, a round of applause, man.
Here's your award.
Thank you.
You didn't know that's what you were coming for, did you?
No, I did not.
I want to thank you for coming in and for reminding us just how important life is and how important it is to push through all the challenges that we have and to have a great spirit when we do it too.
Thank you so much.
If you don't have a great spirit, then what's the point of really doing anything, actually?
There you go.
谢谢ありがとうございました
All right.
I know. Shie. That one I know.
ありがとうございました Thank you very much in Japanese.
All right, thank you.
And there you have it. That's Juan Reina, who is our most inspiring guest.
Yep, it was a good time hanging out with Juan, but I'll tell you what, we had so many hosts over the time, and we've got one of them who is all the way in South Korea. That's Charlie Hutchinson, and she sent us a video, so check it out.
Open Your Eyes, Charlie here, dropping in from South Korea to wish you guys a happy anniversary and to congratulate you on 10 successful years of bringing much needed conversations into the homes of Belizeans. I can't be there physically, but I'm definitely there in spirit. And to help me congratulate you on all the success, I've enlisted the help of some of my friends from around the world. See you guys soon.
Feliz aniversario, Open Your Eyes. Un abrazo, Marlene. Saludos.
Open Your Eyes. 10주년을 축하합니다.
Hi. عيد ميلاد سعيد للسنة العاشرة. Open Your Eyes.
Parabéns. Open Your Eyes.
Abhinandanalo. Open Your Eyes.
Привет, Belize. 10th годовщина вашего шоу.
Magandang umaga. Maligayang bati sa inyong ika-10 anibersaryo. Mabuhay ang malayang pamamahayag. Open Your Eyes.
Sa nagkurawaan, Open Your Eyes.
Capricorn, open your eyes.
Hallo, guten Morgen, wie geht es euch? Open your eyes, alles Gute zum 10. Auf Wiedersehen.
እንኳን ደስ ያለን. Open your eyes.
Hi, Open Your Eyes. Tanya dan selamat menyambut ulang tahun yang ke-10. Semoga terus sukses dan selamat maju jaya. Bye.
And there
Wow.
you have it, from across the globe.
From across the globe, indeed, in so many languages. My goodness. Open your eyes.
Thank you, Charlie. And
Thank you.
we know Charlie's in the middle of exams right now, so
Oh.
good luck too if you're watching. Go back to study. That's our advice.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, we are about to head on into our next segment, and it's actually Open Your Eyes and the Community. And in with us, actually, to chit-chat a little about it, we've got Renee Wentz, who's a counselor at the University of Belize. Hi, Ren. How are you? Hi. All right. We also have Dr. Maxine McKay, Special Olympics Belize. We've got Alicia Vasquez, who is the Director of Support Services, Scouts Association of Belize, and Neil Hall, Communication and Marketing Officer at Niche. Guys, good morning.
Morning.
Happy 10th anniversary.
Happy
10th
anniversary.
Well, when it comes to the community, firstly, again, thank you. When it comes to the community and Open Your Eyes, it has touched us so much. And of course, our audience and the people who watches Open Your Eyes, what has it been like for each of you? Renee?
Okay. I guess it's been very interesting for me. Sometimes I wonder if people are sick of seeing me because I've been on so many times representing lots and lots of different areas. I think the very first time I was on was probably about 2009, and I was talking about self-defense, but I've represented the Belize School Counselor Association, Belize Humane Society. I've been on talking as a counselor. I've been with the Women's Department. So I think for me, it's been a great way to let people know about what's happening in the community, what are offerings that they can take advantage of, but also letting people know about some of our social problems and discussing them and about ways that they can be solved and how people can be involved in helping to solve those problems.
All right. And Doc?
Good morning, thank you. I believe that it has contributed a lot to bringing awareness to inclusivity and children with disabilities, etc., because we have to give them a place in the community, and we have to bring awareness to people to understand that we should not exclude, but rather that include, and that there are vital persons in our society. So it has helped us to bring more awareness to Special Olympics.
Yeah.
All right. Alicia?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having the Scouts Association of Belize here. Certainly, having this partnership with you all have affected us greatly. Just reaching out to our scouts, the parents, and the community, what we stand for. The Scout Association of Belize is all about development, self-development, physical, spiritual, mental, exposing kids to life skills, to professional skills, to just living the adventure and being one with the environment, helping communities to create a better world, and really having this exposure has uplifted or contributed to our mission, really, which is creating a better Belize, creating better communities, creating a better world.
Wow. You?
I side with you. I get here and I'm like, what? Stephanie's calling me to be on Oye?
Again?
No, it's like, no, I'm usually the one calling saying, may I please
get on.
How's your day? Everything good? So it's really a pleasure to be here. And we at Niche, with our Institutes of Archaeology, Social and Cultural Research, the Creative Arts, and the Museum of Belize and all the Houses of Culture, we sincerely appreciate the opportunity to come and share. I try my best not to call stuff in that often because it's usually me that would be here to share, and I don't want to be, oh, kneel down again. I want it to be something fresh, and every time I come, even though I sometimes feel like, oh, people are home saying, oh, kneel down again, you guys keep on making it fresh. You guys keep on bringing the energy and bringing the right questions to make people not only aware of what it is, whether it be anything ranging from Carnival to Archaeology Week, which are two very different things, but you manage to make it fun for everybody. And I appreciate that, and so does Niche.
Oh, nice.
Now, I think each one of you are here because you've really partnered with us in some way. I know, Renee, we've done live demonstrations of self-defense, which didn't always go as planned.
You want to talk about the first time, Marlene? When you became my nemesis? The very first time I was on, I will never forget. I don't think I have it anywhere in video, but
thank goodness.
I was doing the demonstration with William Neal. He was my attacker, and then Marlene said, I want to try something. We hadn't rehearsed anything. Nobody knew what was going on. And when Marlene came on to try something, I said, let me be the attacker. Let me take whatever's going to happen with Marlene. And I took it up to the side of the head. I took it. And you could hear the slap right on the camera. But it was fun, and I was glad that I could keep coming back and not get hurt by Marlene.
She didn't say, no, I'm not coming back. Well, in my defense, no one ever told me that you fake hit.
Oh, my God.
It was our first demonstration show. Thank you. Might as well we get it out in the open. But Maxine, I know one of the things that Special Olympics Belize do is we actually made an effort so early on that we would broadcast live the fun run each year. It moved to Saturdays now, which is why it doesn't happen. But I could always remember the excitement of the kids seeing the camera out there and when they run past the finish line. Talk to us about what you know from the experience of the athletes themselves in coming on the show and getting their TV exposure and what it means to them.
I think we have to understand that Special Olympics is about the athlete, where it does the supporters of these athletes. And when you bring them on, it does so much to their self-esteem, because one of the critical things is that we don't encourage to build strong self-esteem enough. And so having them seeing themselves, it encourages them to want to participate more. It adds more athletes to the community, to Special Olympics. The parents are motivated, and you get a lot of calls from people to say, wow, you're doing a good job, to encourage these kids to want to do more than their abilities, because oftentimes we believe that people should be just academically skilled. And then not everyone will be academically strong. So we have to, impart what are their strengths and encourage their strengths. So it really, really does a lot for our students and for the children with disabilities.
Yeah.
And more importantly, we have to have an attitudinal change to understand that they have to be a part of anything that takes part in the community. But the center and the utmost important person is the athlete. And so we want to highlight them at all times. And the fun run really, really motivates them, especially when they get their ribbons and things like that. And Miss Foreman right there is a leading person with the fun run. She's a pivotal person in our community as well.
Yeah.
All right. And for Alicia, one of the things that actually changes generations or is changing the generation is actually technology. A lot of kids now are into that gadget, internet, and what goes on there. Scouts Association, is it still trending like it once was? And how can we get these kids to go back into it to learn new skills?
I'll tell you what. We have recently re-strategized. We have recently recruited a lot of young persons as well as maintained our older persons as mentors. And so we will be coming back next year with a bigger strategy, more visibility, and we have started recruitment already. There is nothing that can really replace scouting in this world. No technology. Living the adventure is really living life. There's no technology for that.
And I think Alicia herself is an example because you're one of the scouts who just never let it go. Now you work with the Scouts Association.
Right.
And you've had quite a few venture scouts as well.
Right. I actually joined as a Cub Scout. So I have been in scouting for quite a while. And the impact it has on your life, on how you're able to speak to persons, the brotherhood that you have. We are just one organization in over 200 countries. We are 50 million strong.
Wow.
We have a vision 2023 that we are working towards to hopefully achieve 100 million strong. And so we do have strategies. Currently, we have 2 youth representatives in Panama attending our regional youth forum. And so they themselves are participating along with all the other youths in our region, which is 34 countries, to re-strategize for the next 2 years or next 3 years, and to bring back that strategy to Belize. Also, we have 2 directors going next week to the regional conference, again, on the administrative level, to bring that back to Belize. And so while we have started recruitment in just the existing groups, we have revived 2 groups already. We now have 8 Colombia, San Pedro, Colombia, Toledo group. And also, we are starting a Belmopan group. So we are on a bright path to a bright future, and we hope that the community and OIE and all other partners can continue to partner with us so that we can develop the youths in this country through such a robust program that really focuses on their person as a whole.
So many parents want to sign their kids up now.
You can contact us. We are on Facebook. You can like our page, Scout Association of Belize, or 223-7216. Call us. Let us know if you'd like to join. Volunteers welcome. Kids, Cub Scouts, Cubs, Scouts, Ventures,
and just
welcome. Join us. Scout yourself in.
All right. And
Neil.
Neil, before we get there, I've got to say this guy is the path. Was actually the platform from where I came from. I think you know it ish. I think you know it ish. But buddy, the National Institute of Culture and History. Yeah, he's never talk fool.
When young people like you tell older people like myself stuff like that, you make we feel old.
At the catch up.
Older.
At the catch up.
Yeah, but I still got a head start.
But let's
you just started young, Neil. That's all.
Yes, I was about to say, you know, I wanted to know how did Oye hire someone who was 15 years old 10 years ago to be
the same thing Chester thought, yeah.
That's exactly it. Looking older at that point worked out to my benefit.
But let's jump on to niche and what it does to to our communities. We've highlighted so many things. You guys have highlighted so many things, and culture at its best. How has this generated throughout the years in terms of making sure that Belize actually is the spot or the place when it comes to culture?
See, the challenge is most people, when they think of niche, they think of September. And niche extends so much more than that. We, as mentioned before, we are the Institute of Archaeology. So all the Mayan archaeological sites, those fall under niche. And Archaeology Week, which isn't as dynamic a spectacle as September, is something that we get the opportunity to share. Because I believe last year you had, this year, sorry, you had Antonio coming on and he brought some artifacts that you all took a few minutes to look at and to share with everybody. And that makes people more aware of our culture. Because, I'm sorry, but when you're not Belizean, you're not a Mayan or a Garifuna person or a Creole, you're not just a Belizean. And that means that on Monday, you eat escabeche, on Tuesday, you eat hodot, on Wednesday, you eat fried chicken, on Thursday, no, fried chicken, I mean, sorry, rice and beans on Sunday.
Rice
and beans on Sunday?
No, you're wrong.
Oh, stew beans and pigtail.
Sunday dinner.
There you go.
Stew beans and pigtail.
So, with that, what we at Niche are really appreciative of is the fact that we get to share not just the glamour of Carnival, but yes, we get a street art fest here, which is in February, by the way, so be there, street art fest.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, like you won't get a spot later to talk about it.
You know, closer to February. But no, and you also do something for us that I think you do for yourselves, and that is you incorporate niche into other things that you do. For example, when you have KTV at the Bliss, you remind people of what the Bliss is. It's a stage for us to showcase the best of Belize. And like I said, you think you're doing it for yourselves, but you're actually doing it for us, and we appreciate that.
Well, we're also very selfish in the things that we get to learn from niche as well. I got to say that much. And you are right. I think the greatest discovery I've had of the culture in Belize has been conversations with representatives from niche. One of the early shows we did was with Dr. Awe.
Yes.
It was a live broadcast in the Yabra Cemetery and the vaults on Cesar Ridge Road, which I still up to today tell people when I drive past, do you know that there are historic vaults in the park? It's right next to, what's the name of the bar again? Not that I expect you to know, but
Thank you very much.
it's the open
Bismarck,
thank you. Right next to Bismarck. That is a historic site. There are actual tombstones there, and we did a live broadcast there, and I, up until today, I still can share that story with people. Finados, talking about Finados and
the different houses of cultures and the
yeah.
events that they have there, as well as the different things at the Museum of Belize and their exhibits.
We did do a live broadcast from the Museum
Yes.
of Belize, and going into the cell that still exists, which is not something that I like remembering either. But, I think there is so much that we learn, which I know that then the viewers get to learn as well, because otherwise it would have just been locked up in, all the great minds at niche and not necessarily out in public.
And we appreciate the opportunity to come on and share.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. All right, so we're still third base, or all right, there we go.
Oh, the signal's happening.
Yes, all the signals happening.
So again, as we said, this is just an opportunity to say thank you for partnering with us, and just to know that we appreciate working with you as much as we hope you like working with us, and hope for a continued partnership in the next 10, 20 years as well.
That's right. Yep, thank you guys.
And Renee, I know how to fake the, Sheehan is here. He knows I can fake it now, right? Yeah?
Yes, you're not falling for that argument.
Yeah. And she makes sure that I'm the guinea pig. I get the lick first. Then she jumps in. But so while we're enjoying our 10 years, and we're so thankful that you guys could be here, our audience, of course, we need to engage you. We've got giveaways.
Woohoo!
So we've got giveaway number 3, actually. And check this out.
Oh, I just gave them some answers
Yes,
here.
you just did. Live broadcasts are a big part of the show. Now, what you need to do for us is actually name 3 places we have done broadcasts from. 3 places that we've done some broadcasts from.
That's
all
so
you need to do.
easy.
Put it on the Facebook and voila.
And what you win
Yes.
is a $100 gift certificate from J'adore Studio or Many Men. All right.
That's a thing.
So post it online, and we will tell you all the winners by the end of the show. We're going to shift over for some more music.
Superfuria.
And they're going to take us out to our break.
Don't give me lago as I was passing through Trinidad. As for Donna routine, she would not say to me, no, she want me to come, yeah, sample the curry. Oh, yeah, yeah, why no party curry? Oh, yeah, yeah, why no party curry? Oh, yeah, yeah, why no party curry? Oh, yeah, 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 why no party curry? Yeah. Give me. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah. I said, listen, woman, I don't like bacchanal. I don't like no whining and no pretty girl. Ask for Donna routine, she would not send to me. Don't she want me to come here, sample the curry? Oh, yeah, yeah, why no party curry? Oh, yeah, yeah, why no party curry? Oh, yeah, yeah, why no party curry? Oh, yeah, 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 why no party curry? Please, woman, I'm begging you. Simple as simple down the road, tell me come and wine in your curry. Please, I'm a married man. I don't want to wine on your curry. Please, leave me alone. I'm begging you. Oh, yeah, yeah. Why no party curry? 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 Yeah. Do it. The Superfuria, take it out nice and easy. I said, listen, woman, I don't like bacchanal. I don't like no whining and no pretty girl. As for Donna roti, she would not say to me, don't she want me to come here, sample the curry? Oh, yeah, yeah. Why no party 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 curry? Why no party curry? Ay, ay. Oh, yeah. She roll the eyes and watch me. And if she said to me, he said, come here, walk sing. I don't walk all day. People watching the way how you're moving. You're moving your body in perfect time. Oh, yeah, yeah. Why no party curry? 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 Why no party curry? Why no party curry?
For over 20 years, Great Belize Television, Channel 5, has been the leader in award-winning local programming. We have also produced some of the best video commercials, documentaries, and live events for clients countrywide. And we continue to offer high-quality production services to maximize your advertising needs for your business or organization. From concept to completion, let us help you achieve your marketing goal by producing your commercial, documentary, graphic animation, live event, or even designing your website. Using state-of-the-art equipment and experienced personnel, we can make your ideas come alive. For more information, come see us on Coney Drive or give us a call at 223-0146 or 223-7781 or email us at gbtv@vtl.net. Great Belize Productions, making great television in Belize.
And welcome back. And of course, we want to thank you for tuning in to the celebration of our 10th anniversary of Open Your Eyes. We are quickly advancing, and we have a few more awards to give away. And I'm going to introduce you to these two ladies and let you know the significance in just a few. The reason being is one of the things we integrated very early on into the show is we knew we wanted our internet audience to be engaged as well. People have to go to work. And when they get to work, they do go on Facebook. So we make sure we're there. And so we're so grateful for the people who tune in live every single day and the many who go and watch the show afterwards as well. And speaking of our online audience, we have three winners so far. Janet Phillips won the first prize for the first show. And that first show was November 17th, 2008. So Janet, you can pick up your prize here at Channel 5. Josepa Choco won for the number of set changes. That was 3 times. We changed officially the set 3 times. And Tina Pau won for accurately naming 3 places that we've done outside broadcasts. She spoke of Radisson, she spoke of Ocean Club, and the third one is escaping me at this time, but it was correct. We verified it. We do want to now tell you about this award. So this is our Online Fan of the Year, and it is going to be presented to the Jamaican Association of Belize. We have with us to accept the award Roberta Magnus Usher, who's the president, and Melissa Watson Ellis, who is the secretary. Every morning, without fail, the Jamaican Association of Belize shares our Facebook live stream on their page so that their fans can tune in. And so they have only expanded our audience, and I don't know how they have the commitment to do so every single day, but we do appreciate it. And so this is our way of saying thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So tell us, why is it that you have this commitment to do so?
Well, the Jamaican Association of Belize has been around, prior to when I became involved in 2012. At this point, the association is not really active, but we remain vibrant on social media via the Facebook page. And the commitment that we wanted, or what we really wanted to promote, was showcasing not just what is happening in Jamaica, but what is happening here in the beautiful jewel we call Belize. And we also talk about what happens in the wider world as well. But when the page was initially started, we realized that a lot of platforms here in Belize were not really utilizing social media, which I found a bit strange because, social media is a powerful tool for putting yourself out there. Yeah. And so it was News 5, the network, that we were I saw started streaming live, and then I was most happy when we realized that the Open Your Eyes program was doing it too. Yeah. It's a wonderful morning program that people can tune into when they're on the go or having breakfast. And the beauty about the live program is that if you don't catch it in the morning, you can catch it anytime in the evening. Once it's on Facebook, it becomes an archive. Yeah. And we wanted people in the wider world and in Jamaica to see the positive program that the network does. It's a wonderful program, and so we believe that it is good for everybody to see what's happening here in Belize.
Oh, thank you. And I do have to ask you if you've had a favorite guest or a favorite show that you've particularly enjoyed about Open Your Eyes.
I think Melissa is best able to answer that one. But just to add to what Melissa has said, I find Open Your Eyes when I'm able to catch it, because a lot of times I have to be out of my house and somewhere else by that time, But your program is very positive. Yes. And that's the most admirable facet of your program. The fact that we are informed, there's no question, but the fact that we're able to see the positive things and not just the news items of who killed who and what bad has happened in Belize, but to explore the culture people know, and even the people who are here know what is happening in the wider Belize is very much appreciated, and we want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you too.
For me, it was when you had the chef from Biltmore. And I guess I'm a bit biased.
Bit Jamaican bias here. That's what it is. For those
Right.
of you who
I just
don't
want to big up Biltmore chef. You know, that's the #1 chef right now in Belize.
Who promises to come make festival again?
Yes, that was a lovely program, and not just that particular program. I'm able to see the different persons who create different meals. Like I said, a lot of platforms are not really utilizing social media. So what Open Your Eyes does, it gives us everything which we want to promote on the page: the culture, what is happening, you know, what happened in the past, what is happening in the present, everything. It's really a good cultural show. So you guys really encapsulate all of that. Right? Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you as well, and that's why you are our online fan of the year, right?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in as well. We're going to shift back to some music, and you know, we always try to get the best of the best in this place, and we have none other than Nello Player, who's getting ready to do his performance. Now, Nello has been with us on this set multiple times as performer, as artist, as art teacher. I'm not sure what else I could have possibly missed along the way. Sometimes I mix up and call him his real name. But today I have remembered. Let's have some music now by Nello Player.
That you have to pay for the life you live. Soon as I say what I have to say, Rastaman. Ha. The revolution won't be televised. The front line so we could look in at the devil eyes. In at the heart of Babylon, now where the devil lies. Only thing we ain't good for that we tell we lies. How much people get victimized, terrorized. All of a sudden they forget when they me memorize. All of the facts when it starts with me there behind. Knock down any door, kick down any barrier. Watch a man no play, a Rasta man a warrior. Rihanna leaves make a fly sky high, cloud 9 mile high. Higher than a harrier, jet to the future, then lyrics brand new too. Don't be a nuisance and keep the thing neutral. Keep the thing balanced and make sure we mutual. Streets conversation for all generation. Left we know with something make you free me meditation. This one fighting, the other one fighting, but who's highlighting the truth? And this one bribing, the other backbiting, but who's gonna fight for the youth? I wanna be free as the bird, where I want to be, with the trees and the herb, where I want to be, I declare war upon the evil system. Time for pray hard, stop be the victim. Unify thoughts and beat the system. Life is reward, we are really gifted. Letters of a long time struggle tell a tale so familiar make me heart gum. Ha, the mood in the message drop deep cause it heavy. Contours your soul like a phenom unknown. A maverick on the safe side makes no sense to break stride. Two sides to life, it's good or evil. There's no in between, understand me people. I'm pro song, I'm producing, I'm pro now. I'm pro verbs, Genesis, I'm pro herbs. Meditation is essential, try for whole years. And consequences to your actions are your own works. Let's learn to live and try to make it in this cold world. Ha. This one fighting, the other one fighting, but who's highlighting the truth? And this one riding, the other backbiting, but who's gonna fight for the youth? I wanna be free as the bird, where I want to be, with the trees and the herb, where I want to be, yeah. This one fighting, the other one fighting, who's highlighting the truth? And this one bribing, the other backbiting, who's gonna fight for the youth? I wanna be free as the bird. Ha. Bless up, open eyes, happy anniversary.
What a way to deal with our 10th anniversary. That guy's good here. Give him a round of applause, man. Yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. You know, Marlene, we've watched Nello from yay to hey.
Yeah.
And this guy has always been, as a matter of fact, he went
I
to
didn't
Germany.
see him grow up. I can't say that much. But I did see him win national song competition 3 years in a row till he gracefully bowed out and said he'll let other people get a chance now, right? That's the type of star that he is. Thank you, Nello.
Thank you, buddy. Well, we're actually jumping into another segment, which of course is Open Your Eyes and Private Sector and Entrepreneurship.
That's right.
And in with us, we've got some serious people in, man. We've got Sean Quillen, professional chef. No, anybody know, professional. He's in with us. We also have Jordan Rumclam, of course, from Travelers Liquors, right there in the middle. And also Marnix Perez, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Give me a round of applause, man. Yeah, clap for them, boy. Yeah, my goodness, it's so nice to have you in.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship. And you know what?
I think it's
Private
two things.
sector.
Yeah. It's like working with businesses, but building in entertainment. And so Grace Kennedy and Travelers have been with us almost from the beginning of the show.
Yes.
The sponsoring specific segments on Grace and You, which now is Flavor with a Beat, and Travelers Cocktails. And you know, Jordan is so much fun. He even dresses up as Santa Claus every Christmas. We're looking forward to that, by the way.
Yes.
And of course, Sean bringing in his culinary creativity and troublemaker self to the show every now and again as well. Good morning, guys.
Oh my God. Good morning. It's so nice to have you in.
I just want to hear from your point of view, and I want to start off with you, Marnix. You know, this has been a long-standing partnership, Grace Kennedy Belize and Open Your Eyes with this cooking show. It was the first that we had ventured to have as a fixed part of the show. Just what has it been like on your end?
Well, good morning, everybody, and congratulations to Open Your Eyes, and Marlene, you in particular. Wonderful job over the last 10 years. We, from the beginning, saw it as a great opportunity to showcase a lot of what we had already been doing, which is to create recipes and to try to be creative. The show for us really gave us an opportunity to be a little bit more creative, animated, and actually on the set doing different things. And so we knew we wanted to do that. Open Your Eyes certainly gave us that format for us to do. We are currently hold like one of the largest receptacles for recipes. And most people that visit our website go for the recipes. So Open Your Eyes gave us that sort of channel to sort of expand that ability to interact and to do something a little bit more fun. So it's been very, very helpful and very useful for us.
So I am glad to finally have you in front of me and on live TV.
Yes.
I want to hear about this test kitchen because all the recipes they practiced at Grace before. Can you imagine? There's a kitchen set up that we've never been invited to.
Never ever been, yeah.
So let's hear more about this test kitchen.
Well, what's funny about that is that we know when we have a hit on a particular meal that we make because we never get the remainder back at the office. Because the staff from Open Your Eyes or Channel 5 would have eaten all the food that they prepared. So that's for us really the test. Not so much what we do there because we're kind of in love with our stuff anyway, right?
Yeah.
Sean, I'm sure will tell you the same thing, right? But, you know, we enjoy it and we get the kind of animated with the stuff that we prepare. Certainly not at his level, but certainly at our level. Your at home kind of cooks and whatnot, right? That's who we cater for, and so that's the test. You all get the finished product, which is good.
Yes.
Yeah, not the experiments.
I'll ask the audience to guess which product from Grace is my favorite. Just take a wild guess. Hold on, one more guess. Who? The who? Luncheon meat, canned beef. Oh, you don't say that.
And you know what we're not afraid for shouting?
Yeah, man. Canned beef. That's my favorite, man. My gosh.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear.
All right. So Jordan, jump in. How has it been like for you?
Well, the experience so far has been really good. Thanks for having us here. We get a lot of good feedbacks from the show. At the end of the show, when you go back to the office, you get a lot of calls coming in. People want to know how you made certain drinks, what's the specific recipe, how can they get you to their functions. It's really good, really nice. This is a really good show. It's different than the other morning shows, even though it's informational. It's advertising. It's not only about newscast, kinda. It's about entertainment as well.
Yeah. And I remember your first appearance on the show. Do you remember it?
No.
No? Probably because you didn't talk. Jordan was so nervous. He only wanted to mix the drinks and say, yes, rum, yes, cream. And now, of course, you've transformed as well. Travelers Cocktails, I should say, has actually, I can say it now, I took a giffity shot at 8 o'clock in the morning because of Travelers Cocktails. But that was very early on. Now I know. I just say, we'll wait till break time.
All right.
But do you want to tell them what happens during break time, Jordan? You can spill some secrets here today.
Today's the day.
What have you learned about Open Your Eyes stuff?
Well, at break time is when the fun begins. Everybody come out, taste up the product, sip, and move on.
Jordan brings extra so he can make for the entire staff after. Yeah. Yeah.
But we do enjoy it. You know, we do enjoy it. It's always good to do some things with a twist. Speaking of a twist, this man, I swear. you ever find yourself that your pot costs you out? Or your stove?
The black one there.
Sean Quillen, professional chef, buddy. Good morning, and how are you?
I thank you. I can remember my first time on television. I'm nervous, and Marlene, I always joke with her. She was my first, and I love it. And I'm nervous. It was a Christmas, and we did turkey and ham, and we took the whole segment with William and stuff.
There it is.
But
oh, Sean, you look so different there.
Oh yeah.
Is that it?
I'm like
No.
you, but the thing with Marlene, get better at age, right? So guess what? What I love about this television show and everything is that before this, we always used to watch like Cubs and so we'd watch foreign television. And we want to watch Food Network. And like yesterday was Thanksgiving and people they take a lick because they want to know where can I find asparagus and cranberries that's fresh. And when you go to the shop, you only got the one way in the can. But we learn and we promoted Belizean culture and cuisine. And this kind of show, this show showed that we are proud and we could actually love it. When I tell you, when I come over this show, Facebook, Insta, messaging and stuff, people cuss me because they reach late at work. Because they say it's like compelling, they don't want to leave the television. And we're showing things that we grew up with, Takari and Yellow Ginger and Hudut, and we start to love that kind of thing because of television. Isn't that great?
Lovely.
Amazing, man.
And so what's changed between that first Sean and the Sean we do right now?
I took a piece of foil. He's much more reserved now.
I know, right? The first time your hands were shaking the whole while we had to help you cook.
I shake.
And
Actually,
you tried to cut something and we had to take away the knife.
Yes, I still do shake, and Marlene usually tell me that's a good thing because it shows that it's still, I still have a passion for it, that I still put a lot of effort in it. I can tell you behind the scenes what happened to me. If I'm coming on Open Your Eyes, it's not just coming at 6:30 and just jump on the set. I gone through 3 producers. I remember Gahona. I remember Andre. And we have Stephanie now. Well, Stephanie, I rough she up because she can't tell me where to do now because I don't know where to do long time. She the land for me now. Look here, I walk here from Marlene read news 6:30
the night before.
I am here the night before because I have to put, if I'm going to do a Garifuna team, I put everything back there. If you be a Belican team, if you be a Mestizo, I come here and I really put a lot of work into it. And I go home 1 o'clock in the morning from here to come back again at 5. Sometimes I come and leave coffee in the morning, and it's not rehearsed, it's, you never know what will happen. Sometimes things come out and I go replay it and suddenly things slip in there, but it just subtle.
Yes.
But it's good, but it's great because I talk Creole and that are we. And I mean, people will watch Passions. You remember Passions?
Yeah.
And then, but other American, you laugh because we are not Passions, but there a lot of people watch Nigerian things now because you have you could what you call it, you could relate. But this is a wee boy, this is a wee different. So but open your eyes and stuff. Just wonderful, man, to showcase ourselves.
And your first cooking appearance was on Open Your Eyes?
Yes. And I haven't been anywhere else. Maybe once. I don't know, like January jump ship. No, but
this is why.
Wait, I'll tell you what.
Is on
know, man. But let me tell you more about Open Your Eyes. We had a
Hold on.
Wait.
Columbus had 3 boats. You got Pinta, you had something. At the same time, you gone and you gonna find Tierra. That was John Condo.
You find Tierra? You got 3. Anyway, good. So, besides Open Your Eye, I must say that we had a show called Great Belize Cooking. And Marlene was the producer. And we traveled this country, Marlene. Tell me about that now. You tell me what the experience was.
I'm on the spot now?
Yes, because...
Which experience? Controlling you or finding the location?
Boy, finding the location, controlling myself.
Finding, and that's where niche came in handy again. I worked with niche. I worked with many different people. When you want to get out and find people, you got to just call, knock on doors till you can find them. But that is perhaps one of my best experiences at Channel 5 is Great Belize
Those
Cooking.
shows were like maybe 2 years ago, but up to today, people still ask. And it was characters welcome, I call it, because you never know who you're going to meet. And these people are just, you go in their homes. And again, that Belize where they show, If people love it, that's because the television, look at where they make chocolate. Back at that, Barranco Road, why? And unfortunately, I've been in every country, every district in this country.
Yeah.
I've mingled with every culture. I speak Garifuna, my everything.
Yes.
And I cook it and I show it, so can't fake that, brother.
And that's the key thing of these 3 segments that we have. It's authentically Belizean. You know, whether it's the corned beef, what we used to eat, and we've seen Chef Dwayne and the chef before that as well.
Yeah.
Really, you know, one of the recipes I always remember from Grace and you that I just thought this cannot be something that will turn out well. She once made, this was early years, she once made a tamales by wetting corn chips. Mashing up the corn chips and wetting it, and then she set it as the base. And then we put in the filling, I think it was beans and something else. That me nice.
But I can. Wet your can,
Can't go wrong with can.
I know, right? But yeah, it's just some of the innovation that we see from each one of you here, from Grace and you to Travelers. Sometimes Jordan come, I think he make up the name of the drinks on the spot, like inspiration
Yeah,
hits.
he does.
And well, Sean.
I could also say one more thing is that television is hard to cook live because first of all, we're doing our kitchen for sure. We're not got no real stove, nothing.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna make a chicken, for example, you have to bring 3 chicken. One of them have to raw, one of them have to half cook, and one of them have to cook. That live television. But television, you would think that you wouldn't have to cook or season because nobody's gonna eat it. Yeah. So you're wrong, boss. That's like you see their room where they barely drink. They got a cameraman named Steven. Boy, Baba, they drop one spell, the camera they move. They have to call her back for the bike. Rick Romero, they cuss off her back there. Thing they happen, but they ballet. We really cook and we have to cook, and they really eat it, right?
Yeah. But we have fun. We have fun.
And I'm so grateful. I think these 3 segments here are definitely some of my favorite parts of the show. 1, because we get food and drinks, but 2, just because it's a whole different aspect of your morning, your day, learning how to use the different products, what kind of drinks you could impress people with later, or, how I change up my stuffings now with Christmas because of Sean's creation. Yeah. So, and we hope that the partnership is one that will continue, of course.
Yeah. But and finally for me, we watch a lot of cooking segments and whatnot. But one of the things that these guys show is how to improvise in your kitchen and use Belizean products. And I always say, when you buy in Belize, you build Belize. Right. So thank you guys so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have an award to give out, and this one is for our funniest guest
award presentation. And that...
Do you want to take a guess who our funniest guest is? All right. For being, he doesn't come on as a comedian. That's not what he's
That's
here
not
to
what
do.
he's here to do.
But we can't control him once he opens his mouth. So, and keeping us on our toes to make sure what he says is appropriate for TV as well. Okay? So our funniest guest award goes to Chef Sean Quillen.
Woo, 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 woo. Many times I have to tell Sean, this is a family show, sir.
Like a family show, a family game. At nighttime television.
All right, wrap up.
And with that, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we have quite a bit more. We have the champagne. We have the
G,
cake.
actually.
We got Super G coming up.
Gosh.
So we'll be back in a few. Stay tuned.
Remember, you can borrow up to 5 times your monthly salary with no payment until January 2019. Some conditions apply. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
And welcome back, and just like that, you know, time is just winding down just so fast. Like they say, every good thing must come to an end. We're not too far away from the end, but at the same time, we're celebrating 10 years of Open Your Eyes. And what is a celebration without how do you call it in Spanish? Pastel, huh? Without a cake. And we've got the individual in who actually did the cake, and it's actually Tammy Cakes by Tammy. It's Tamika Cleland. Tamika, good morning. How are you?
Morning, I'm good.
10 years ago.
10 years, I can't believe it. When they told me it's 10 years, I was like, 10 years already?
Yeah. Were you the one who did the cake last year as well? You always did the cakes for the place.
No.
Just
this is the first year on Open Your Eyes.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're so blessed to have you in. We're so blessed with what you've got here. You did this, you created this.
Yes,
so
I created that.
Do me a favor. Please tell me which one is Marlene.
This is Marlene.
Cool. Hi, Mar. Hi. All right, tell me which one
and that is actually you.
That me?
I didn't even know you were going to be on today, so coincidentally, you're at the front.
Yes. But I love it. So tell me, why did I get this huge grin?
Because you're always smiling.
Oh, yo, man, I swear. And then how did you did a low on Kevin there, and actually a high. You give this man for his dreads.
Well, I have to. He has dreads.
My goodness.
I could not have him without dreads. So he was the only one who actually had hair out of all the guys.
So you've got your business, Tammy Cakes and Cupcakes.
Tammy's Cakes and Cupcakes.
How long have you been doing this?
About, I'd say professionally. Not really professionally, but I've been doing it from since I was in high school. Mm-hmm. But doing the business side, I'd say about 5 years.
So you love it. This is what you do.
I love it. I like being creative, so that just brings out my creative side. So that's what I enjoy.
And what went through your mind when you had to do this? And how long did it take you to do it?
Well, it took me about 2 days to complete the entire thing. I started with the people first. Mm-hmm. I'm not really that good with fondant, but I said, let me give it a try for this one. Mm. And I tried to include most of the hosts that you guys had on the show. So you have William on this side, and Isani, and John, you're at the front again, Marlene, and some of the different segments at the bottom tier. Balloons and confetti because we're celebrating the 10 years, and of course the logo on the top.
Tammy, do you have your Facebook? How can we contact you? Because we like good things.
Yes, I can be contacted on my Facebook page, Tammy's Cakes and Cupcakes. Yeah. Or you could call me on my, the phone number is on the page as well, 665-2162.
Just like that, huh?
Just like that.
I wonder. Man, I can tell you what, somebody tell me that what they'll try to do, go by your house, catch one, conquer, taste it and see where they go on, because you that good. But it's so nice to have you in. It's always our pleasure. And yeah, it's just the part of a week crew too. You know, she's actually a part of our crew. And please do me a favor and tell your mom she makes some of the nicest tortillas.
Well, she's watching, so she's going to hear you.
Mom, tortilla tastes good, girl. So when they tell me, John, please stop by my house and get a tortilla, I say, yes. But Tammy, thank you so very much. It was an excellent time, and thank you for the cake as well. That's how we do it. But I'll tell you what, while we've got cake, we've got the best in audience. We've got the best in entertainment. Super G is in the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Generally back again. The generally back again. It's my destiny. I'm a winner. Yes, I'm a winner. Oh, you know I'm a winner.
I'm like that shining star. You see me bright up way from far. I'm so real, I move like the avatar. We set me stand way up on a higher bar. In a life, you have to really know who you are. Greatness don't depend on me radar. Every fight don't just make me stronger. And my future a little more brighter. Some people really wanna be envious. Me just really wanna be victorious. So me stay on the grind and me focus. Me nah waste no time with the locals. Cause I'm a winner, I'm a winner. In everything when me in a. I'm a winner, I'm a winner. In every damn thing when me in a. I'm a winner, I'm a winner. In everything when me in a. I'm a winner, I'm a winner. In every damn thing when me in a. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. This is the brand new sound. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. The general around. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. This is the brand new sound. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. Mash up the town. Success is one of my mission, and I already made a decision to keep pushing through with every vision to make everything come in fruition. The prediction and skip on me target with precision. I'm in afraid and no competition. Greatness I wanna me ambition. So when people wanna be envious, me just keep on being victorious. So me stay up on the grind and me focus. Me nah waste no time with the locals. Cause I'm a winner, I'm a winner. In everything when me in a. I'm a winner, I'm a winner. In every damn thing when me in a. I'm a winner, I'm a winner. In everything when me in a. I'm a winner, I'm a winner. In every damn thing when me in a. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. This is the brand new sound. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. Got the general around. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. This is the brand new sound. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. We come to mash up the town. Whoa, whoa, oh. Whoa, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh. Whoa, oh. I'm a winner. Yes, I'm a winner. I'm a winner. In every damn thing we mean. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. Bagadang, bagadang, bang. Round. Bagadang, bagadang, bang.
Yeah, this guy. I tell you what, you need to do something. You said the red shoes that you're wearing, click it 2 times, think about being on this chair, bam. And you'll be right here on this chair. Just step up, Super G. My gosh, man. Remember Alice in Wonderland, she did that, right? You just and you're there. I wish I had her shoes.
Except his home is Griga and we want him here right now. Yeah. So please don't click your heels to go home. Super, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Of course, when we talk about entertainment in Belize, your name has to be
a part of
top of the list.
Yes, good morning, and definitely thanks for inviting me to be a part of this very important occasion. As always, I'm always happy to be on Channel 5 because I believe Channel 5 makes a platform for artists. You know, once you come to Channel 5, then everybody have to know about you then. So, thanks again to Channel 5.
So tell me your experience over the years. You've been with us, you've been on this show quite a few times, lots of live performances, behind the scene conversations. Tell me about it.
Yeah, man, it has been awesome. You know, I know the first time when I come around, I'm more shy than now. I'm still kind of nervous a little bit. But I think every time you come, I have a different feeling, different experience. But it always make you better for the next time you come back around. And like I said earlier, the platform where you give me, you know, that was a huge one. And again, a lot of fans. I'm coming on Channel 5. And also, to promote the stuff where I have, especially new materials that I am releasing, you know, thanks to Channel 5 for helping me out a lot. Musically, you know, for so many years.
And one of the things I do remember was when we had Candice Gibson on the show. You remember that?
Yes.
And we tried to teach him. Candice Gibson is an anchor for ABC World News now.
Yes.
And so we tried to teach him punta. And that was, of course, with music by Super G. And tell me what that led to afterwards.
Man, what Daniel, I post that up every time, every few weeks I repost it again. You know what about the music get played internationally.
Yes.
And a local and international TV station.
Yes.
Because the channel.
Yeah,
that
because
was-
when Candice went back to ABC, he played the
In
same
New York.
song, yes, on ABC to try to get his co-host to dance.
Yes, and it danced, and this time she may dance a little better than me.
We still say that she won, right?
Yeah, she won.
We had a nice time. Super G, you're Belize's top headliner. Like Marlene mentioned, whenever you're somewhere, whenever there's a party, if you don't have Super G, then So for me, your life then to now, the evolvement. Where are you?
Man, I think I'm at a point now ready for the next level, which I would have said maybe at the 4th level because I've climbed so many levels already. That's why now, as you could see, I have the Paranda album. That just came out today. This is the official launch of the album here on Channel 5.
Paranda!
So it has led me to do some collabs with major artists like Marshall Montano. I have a collab that I did with him, Hot Gal, that came out a few days ago. Also, I have a song that will be released by VP Records, Ahsoka, Caribbean Girls. And also the dancehall where I just do, that dep on OIE Rhythm, a producer from Jamaica did that one, and it's already out. And one of the, I would say, top 2 songs on that rhythm out of 17 songs. So, where they grow.
Super G.
I don't think anybody in Belize had any doubt about your growth, and I gotta say why. This man worked hard. And this man take his job professionally. There's some people who sing and are great singers and great performers, but it still is a part-time hobby. And you are one of those people that I knew from the beginning. This is a business, and this is something that he didn't take lightly. When Super G come, the amount of song tests you do before, everything to make sure, because you only want to deliver the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So check this out, audience. Check this out. How much songs do you have, Super G?
Well, I've released 12 albums. Today makes it 12. But I have probably about 200 songs that are not on an album, not released.
Are not on an album?
Each one of the album have like 14 songs, except for this one, 15. So I can't read off my head. I can't count right now. And I have songs where I got a studio, record it, and when I done, I don't like how it sounds. So then we just park that aside, tell the engineer, okay, let's work on another song. Yes. I remember when I did the party in St. I went to studio to record a different song. When I get behind the keyboard and start build the beat, something else like take over my fingers and I start program a different beat. I said, this song good, Junior. I said, why? At that time, the slang women, they out that me turn up. I said, man, everybody turn up, turn up. Why don't I say the party insane? I said, wow, that sound like a good song for this beat, and right there we build it. Party insane.
What are your favorite songs as you do?
My favorite song now would be Hero. Hero, yes.
That's the one you
It's on YouTube. No, that's one is for the women.
Oh, yes.
Yes, for strong women.
Oh.
That's me with a mind, Super.
Which one? I just
That's my favorite song.
I know that Punta Rock.
That's my favorite song.
I want to hear just a little bit more about this album before we get on moving. So Paranda.
Okay.
Soulful. We are used to the Punta Rock. We've gotten used to a bit of a more ballad, but Paranda is soul.
Yes.
How? What is it like on the album? What was it like putting it together?
Okay, first of all, I remember I think some years ago when I come for the show, you tell me, Super, you need to release that Paranda album. We started working in 2004, finished mixing in 2010, and until now we're releasing the album. I had to take my time because the level that Andy and Ivan Duran took Paranda was so high, and even if that would just reach halfway, I need to reach as close as possible, even if only halfway I reach. So we took time, we went back, took out certain songs, put back new songs in there, kind of did some remastering and make sure it came out the right way. So this album that probably is definitely the album that I took the longest time working on.
And it's called?
Saraba means wake up. Yeah, means wake up. And soulful, of course. I feature the great late Andy Palacio, the legend. I featured Aurelio Martinez, Adrian the Duck Martinez, Reckless, Elroy Martinez, Madness Martinez. So almost like a Martinez thing.
Martinez.
Call it the Martinez album. All right, and of course, everybody's going to be wanting to get these. How do they get them?
Okay. You know, we don't have much CD stores anymore in Belize. So right now, definitely Venus, I have it by next week.
Yeah.
And we have it on us right now. So if people want, in the meantime, you could call up on 600-14-16. And we'll try to get it to the stores and put it on Facebook where you can find the CDs.
All right.
But right now, it's on all on iTunes.
Yeah, you put your music
on the online
Apple,
stores.
yeah.
Yes, it's on all the online
So
stores.
you can always purchase your Super G music online. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for launching your Paranda album with us. Thank you for being a part of the show. And also, we want to give you our award.
That's right.
So, our most entertaining performer award goes to Lensford Super G Martinez.
Thank you so very much. Everybody want to forget that name, right?
I don't know how they found it, but it's there on the award.
Thanks, I really appreciate it.
We appreciate it so much, Super, and it's been great fun having you here. Always entertaining, and so we wanted to say a special thank you as well.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
We are gonna go ahead. Actually, you have one more performance you're gonna do for us.
I'm going to do an old school.
All right. Nano loco loco.
All the young people cry.
Nano loco loco.
Yeah. All right, so now we get the audience participation. This is where you all dance. That's what you're here for.
You never know.
Some of you I know are great dancers, so I don't have to worry. I see some faces where they don't look worried at all. Yeah.
Which one of the move I want to do today? Go ahead, Super G.
face him. Susie don't know what she want. Jackie don't know what she want. Johnny don't know what you want. Timmy don't know what you want. Hey, hey, hey. Well, me want that. Really that. Me no want nothing where me done got. If it look where me deal, give me what for me I know. I work for that, so give me that, that, and a that, and a that. Me want that, and I really that. Me no want nothing where me done got. If it look where me they look, then you want know what. Give me what for me I know. Matter if I black, I work for that, so give me that. Huh. Yeah. This is the General Super G. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. That.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Welcome back.
10 years. It was an excellent time. We had some wonderful guests in.
Absolutely. This year's format for our show, we really wanted to make sure we'd reflect all the way back to November 17, 2008. There are so many people we know that have been faithful viewers that entire time, and we really need to say thank you. Thank you for inviting us into your home every single morning, for tuning in online on Facebook, going back and watching those videos, joining in the conversation. We appreciate it so much. That's the only reason we've made it to 10 years so far.
That's right. Without you, the 10 years wouldn't have been possible. Of course, without our sponsors as well, the 10 years wouldn't have been possible. You've stuck with us, and you will always be with us. Reason being is because we make sure that we provide to you nothing but the very best. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on
5.
That's how we do it. But
we do want to say too, speaking of sponsors, we have some people who've helped us out today, and we want to say thank you to them.
Yep, we've got these folks in, and they're actually the Art Box Limited. We've got Lush Spa and Beauty Lounge.
We have J'adore Studio and Many Men and Travelers Liquors.
Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza, along with the Lodge at Shaw Creek.
Carlage Menzies, who's providing our champagne for a toast.
And of course, cakes. We've got Tammy's Cakes and Cupcakes by Tamika Cleland.
We have the cupcakes by Blissful Bites Belize. So we actually had a partnership there as well. We want to say thank you to them, but also when it comes to sponsorship, our main sponsors every single day for the show is Belize Bank and Smart Belize, and we really are appreciative we really do appreciate them for sticking with us for the past 10 years. One of the things I know we're looking at is the behind the scenes videos.
That's what you're seeing.
That's one of the things that people don't realize. There's a lot of work that goes into putting the show together. This live audience is only getting like a sneak peek of all the little running around that happens. So this was actually kind of just a preview of our cameraman setting up the shots. Our host comes in. We're kind of lucky. We just get to put on a mic and get started with the show. And
wow.
It is, I think, a very important time for us to say that this show, while you only see your faces, is a production of at least at minimum 10 people. Every single day. We're not the only ones who have to set our alarms to wake up early. They do as well. When we do outside broadcasts, they have to get out there even earlier than we do. We have our producer who works behind the scenes. She's always the ones who gets in touch with you guys. Books the show, works out the details, or cameramen who work with us as well. And in fact, some of them do double duty as cameramen for the news as well as Open Your Eyes. We have our directors, Rick Romero and Chris Mangar. We have our character generator, Shanice Middleton. We have our audio technician, Luis Sosa, who is always there as well. And there are a number of other people. I'm going to miss somebody, and I'm really worried about that. Henry Mortis, one of our cameramen, has been with us since the very beginning. Snappy, of course. But what I'm saying is that these people have been a part of this journey for 10 years, and you don't get to see them, but they play such an important role. And I know me personally, I could not thank them enough, because it's the difference between how you sit, whether your mic is working, whether the shot is ready, and that really just makes the product of what you see on the television. So,
and of course, getting some water, getting the place all cleaned up. We've got
Miss Dahlia.
Miss D is in with us, and she's with us every morning. She's here early in the morning, late in the evening as well. But many a times you watch the show and wonder, how did I get that topic? If the Marlene or the John or Mr. Artas or these guys actually chooses it. No, there are producers who have been doing this. Stephanie is one of them. And especially for today's show, I'm so impressed. I'm so loving it. But we had folks who back in the day as well, we had...
So I want to say thank you to our producers. Our producers are in fact, the show is what it is based on who produces the show. That is a critical. I think people always think that we just come up with these ideas and they magically happen. Actually, no. A lot of it is driven by who the producer is. And we started off this show in 2008 with our first producer, Charmaine Garcia. She was actually a part of conceptualizing the show. So big thank you to Charmaine for all the work she put in. She put in the foundation for what this show is today. So a big thank you to Charmaine.
Of course, Miss Edith Gahona led afterwards, so we want to thank her. She's probably right downstairs right now.
Yeah, she was definitely the timekeeper. I think when I think of the production under Edith, some of you are shaking your heads because some of you met all these different producers as well. But Miss Edith was so efficient with everything. Loved her for her efficiency. Jonathan Kidd and his creativity. Jonathan had ideas that we could not even dream of in coming up with some of the special segments that we did. There's a funny clip that we always share every now and again with Minnie Marlene and Minnie William. That was completely his design. So we want to thank him for his creativity as well.
And of course, we had Katie Usher. Katie is a very special young lady, and it was so nice having her around as well. Very idealistic. She was always there with us as well. So that was a nice time working along with her.
Very efficient and also very creative as well. Passionate about Belize, its development, and the different issues that we would cover on the show.
And we also had this guy, Andre Marston. Now, if he calls your phone, you feel like a God call you, like, John, where do you go on? Like, I do something. But he was very good as well, and we want to wish him all the very best.
And our current producer that actually put together this show, I know called all of you personally, begged you to dress up and wear a suit on a Friday morning and to give it up and sit here in a live production, which is always a bit weird, I know. That is none other than Stephanie Daniels. Stephanie, come on out. You don't want to be on TV, but that's not your choice. This time, we're producing this segment.
Lift on your ears and
bring
everything.
Your headset, because they'll probably tell you something soon anyway. And your paper and understanding, of course, she's wearing flat shoes because she's running all over the place, making sure everything goes smoothly. Steph?
And I have no mic.
Well, she has no microphone.
We can fix that. There's a mic right over there. So Stephanie has been with us for going on 2 years now. 2 years. Yeah, and has graciously joined us to take on this big role as a producer. Not just of this show, might I tell you, because the producer role at Channel 5 means you produce many other shows as well. Yeah. So
tell us your journey,
Well, I think the thing that I've learned the most about television is that what you see on TV is like really just 1/5 of the bigger picture. It looks so easy, you just turn on the channel and there are the people and the things that you're interested in. But it takes a teamwork, and Channel 5, I think, has done a very good job with Open Your Eyes in giving it a platform that is prestigious. They're very factual, they're very cutting edge, they look for the innovative approach to things, and so it was a pleasure for me to join this team and to add my contributions for the time that I'm here. And I think that one of the things that I will treasure the most is seeing Belize, because that's what happens when you turn on Open Your Eyes. You can go from a very serious topic to something very light. You can go to something you've never heard of before, to something you've always heard of, but you've never seen it, and so I appreciate being a part of something that educates the nation and across ages, cultures, platforms, beliefs. And I think that that's the joy of coming to work at 6:30 in the morning.
All right. Thank you, Steph.
And the hosts make my job very easy because they all have their own personality. So it's a very intriguing show. Every day you get something else from the show. So thank you too for putting in the homework to, find out about who these people are and coming prepared with your questions, putting your slant. Doing sometimes very embarrassing things on live TV.
Tell me about it.
But we appreciate that you take your job as well seriously and that you enjoy being in the homes of people.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Stephanie,
man.
for the work that you put in behind the scenes. It is certainly not an easy job, but we are appreciative of what you do. One of the other things that we do have to get in at this time is our executive producer, who is the CEO of the company, Amalia Mai. And, I think every year we make sure we have time for her. This year she's out of the country, but not without leaving us a special greeting as well.
Yeah.
I must tell you, when the vision for this morning show is directly from Amalia. She wanted a morning show for the company when she moved over here. She had a vision of who she wanted, what she wanted to do, and directly approached William and I to host the show, and then sat with us as we came up with it together.
Yeah.
The producer, the two hosts, and Amalia as the executive producer. So I think that you cannot talk about being able to get to 10 years without giving her the acknowledgement of, one, the vision that a morning television only show could work in Belize without call-ins, without radio, and that we have stuck through very challenging times as, TV changes, mediums of media changes, and we have made it to 10 years. So we'll take a moment to hear from Amalia now.
So there she goes.
There is every good reason to celebrate and to pop a bottle of champagne. 10 years ago, we started the show, Open Your Eyes, and you have been with us throughout this time. I want to thank you for all the time that you have spent with us. It has given us a lot of satisfaction to put this show together with you. I want to thank our guests who have come through our studios and have helped to shape our society in the discussions that they have carried forward with us. To Marlene and to William, who were here for our first show, I want to thank you as well. And of course to Kevin, John, and Isani, who contribute for the rest of the week. And thank you, Rick, and all the crew for the work you do behind the cameras, and Stephanie, of course. So I want to say thank you to everyone, and to say that we look forward to many more mornings with you. Let's take a toast and celebrate 10 years of OA.
Wow.
Thank
so thankful
you.
for the words, very kind words. And like I mentioned to her last year, that this ship wouldn't have been out there and sailing the way it's supposed to be without a stern captain like that. So thank you so very much, Amalia.
And it is time for us to move into the celebration. But I gotta say thank you to our in-studio audience. We've stuck on to the majority of them since the beginning of the show. And I just want to get, if you have any reflections, any thoughts that you'd like to share. I see Dylan has the mic. He has something he wants to say.
Dylan Williams from the National Committee for Families and Children. It's interesting that I've been a part of this show from before November 17th. Actually, an interesting discussion between yourself and Steph when you were conceptualizing it, and you messaged Steph and asked her, what do you think should be the name of the morning show? And you were throwing out some ideas. And actually, we were, as a staff, sitting in the couch, and you said, Open Your Eyes. And automatically, we were like, Definitely. That
Yeah.
definitely sounds like a good way to start the morning, and definitely start your morning right.
Right.
Right. And just to also say from the social sector partners, 3,000, I'll use the word 3,000 as the data person I am. That's 3,000 shows possibly over the past 10 years, which then also suggests consistency. And for anything doing that consistent of a number of shows suggests the quality and the work of your team. So for us, it definitely helps us to deliver a message, but it also helps to deliver a message in a quality way. Because if we are to get the kind of behavior changes that we need, we have to have the space. And a powerful platform like this have done that for us. So definitely thank you, and congrats to more than the next 20.
Thank you. Wow.
He did it, man. You did it.
But we want to
swear.
thank you for coming in this morning. You know, we really wanted to share this moment with some of our frequent guests, some of the familiar faces, and just to show our appreciation to you as people who come in and share the information. And of course, we hope our viewers enjoyed as well. You guys have your champagne. John is going to work on his, and I'm going to get to cutting.
Ooh. That was
I
good.
think I moved away at the correct time. Right?
That was good.
So, you know, we can have some music in the background if Superfuria feels like it. I don't know who I should cut. See, I'm not, all right, we'll cut the top.
Cut the top. Cut the top.
All right. So I think, all right. And there you have it.
Yep.
Cake is cut.
Superfuria.
The champagne.
Champagne is on.
Thank you very much, Carl H. Menzies. We got our rosé, or Bel Air rosé from Carl H. Menzies. You guys are also drinking some nice champagne as well. It's Bel Air Lux, I believe. And how do you say thank you to everyone who has been a part of this process? I think that the biggest thank you I can give is to the people who tune in every single day.
Yeah.
You know, we have ideas, these guys have information, you know, the station has the capacity to put out quality reporting. We have done everything I could have imagined and even more. I see images of celebrating Paul Nabor's birthday live on air, interviewing the Prime Minister of the country,
All the dignitaries, everybody.
having George Price die while we were live on air, having a panel discussion with young people about nationalism, talking about the Belize-Guatemala dispute, hearing from kids like Juan Reyna and from Rowan Garel, and you know, I could go the full gamut of just everything that
yards,
we
yeah,
have covered, but
definitely.
I think while I have gained so much, it is with one sole purpose, and it is that the people at home are the ones who will be able to benefit from the information that we provide.
That's
the
right.
fun times we provide as well, the music we provide, and we only hope to continue to serve you for 10, 20, 30 more. Not with me on air, though.
Many years, for many years to come. We're so thankful to everybody. And like we normally wrap up and say, tune in again on Monday when you open your eyes.
Just stop. start your morning right.
Always keep your eyes, your and your
Hearts open. See, it is possible. Thank you all for being here. We can have our champagne and cake now. Cheers. And we will see you on Monday. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers. Let me cheers over here.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, Radisson Fort George Hotel and Marina, Yes I Can, and the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.